OPEC leaders for talks on climate change and other issues as the Asia-Pacific Economic Summit winds down in California. He says the summit already made historic progress, including agreements to strengthen supply chains and combat corruption. Earlier, he met with Mexico's president, who's pledging to help fight the flow of fentanyl into the U.S.
We are sincerely committed to continue to assist at our fullest capacity to prevent drug trafficking.
Through a translator, President Obrador calling it a matter of humanism and an act of solidarity. He and President Biden also commending each other on legal pathways to migration. Countdown to the Iowa caucuses, the start of the presidential primary season about 2 months from now. It's a busy weekend there for Republican candidates.
A forum hosted by an Iowa Christian group set for this evening will feature 3 GOP presidential candidates: Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, and Vivek Ramaswamy. The Family Leader organization was recently criticized by the Republican National Committee for trying to hold an unsanctioned debate. This weekend, DeSantis will campaign in Iowa with the state's governor, while former President Donald Trump is set to rally in Iowa on Saturday.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Pro-Palestinian activists call this another day of action, including several protests planned in New York City.
So the NYPD knows the situation by now. They know that they have to prepare for these protests and protesters who are calling for ceasefire here as they are rallying in support of the Palestinian people.
Fox's Alexis McAdams, a U.S. military official, just confirming 3 new attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East in the last 24 hours. That makes 61 attacks in the past month. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's happened again. Cloudy and 54 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Mostly clear around the Circle City. On your radar, low of 31 tonight. Tom Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. For the second straight night, a teenager was shot and killed late Thursday. It was around 7 when police officers in the area of 32nd and North Emerson heard gunshots. Immediately after,
we got a report of a person shot. They arrived on the scene almost immediately. Sadly, we found one teenager deceased. Another teenager, they traveled apparently a short distance and was found shot.
That teenager, a 14-year-old girl, was dead, say police. They also found a second teenager wounded not far from where the shooting happened. They were taken to a hospital in critical condition. Indianapolis firefighters responded to the waste management facility just outside the Indy Zoo Thursday. A 25-foot tall stack of cardboard was burning outside the building, and waste management employees were able to help out.
We needed their expertise and skills working with an excavator to move those piles and break apart that pile so that we could get underneath it there and make sure we extinguish everything.
Rita Wright, Battalion Chief with IFD. The fire was under control in about a half hour. Temperatures will start to and keep cooling down after Thanksgiving next week. Ryan Hedrick explains.
It's going to be a little cooler than it has been this weekend. On average, we're still above normal for this time of year.
I mean, we've been above normal the last several days, so we're really just cooling back to kind of near normal levels over the weekend.
Mike Ryan of the National Weather Service says by next week a system comes in and it will bring well below average temperatures. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IU men's basketball beat Wright State last night for their third win in as many games this season. Head coach Mike Woodson says they have yet to play their best ball.
Be curious to see what you guys would really be saying had we lost the games. We haven't put a perfect game together. Game before this game, we made our free throws. We didn't make them tonight.
The Hoosiers played the defending national champs UConn this Sunday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zerorez, and how about a good carpet cleaning before family and friends start coming over for the holidays? People can see your floors and carpets, and they'll see those stains when they visit, and many times they can even smell that they're not clean because those carpets are the largest air filter in your home. Remember, that's where everybody sneezes, wipes their shoes, and drops food. Call the professionals at Zerorez for a good pre-holiday cleaning. It really is a great time to clean the carpets, and Zerorez has this gotta love it guarantee that makes it easy to get what you pay for. And it's quick and easy to schedule a time online that's convenient for you. Nobody but Zerorez has the patented electrolyzed ZR water that cleans with no soap, no harsh chemicals, and no residue to attract more dirt. They can even clean your ductwork to help you breathe easier. Schedule online today at ZerorezIndy.com and mention WIBC. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning starting at $100 and $50 off air duct cleaning too. For a smarter, lasting clean and really easy scheduling, visit ZerorezIndy.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, a crash cleared southbound 65 at 21st. The traffic had to go somewhere, so we're stop and go now from 21st down to Meridian Penn going into downtown. A little bit of slow going eastbound 70 at west, and then on the northeast side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Comcast Business. Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on route metrics. U.S. report results vary, not an endorsement. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Temperatures slowly fall into the mid and lower 50s later this afternoon. Showers come to an end and skies clear. Tonight, partly cloudy, colder. Lows near 31. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Okay, Hammer, it doesn't look like the lawyers for the suspect in the Delphi murders are having much luck with the judge in this case, correct?
So the special judge that was assigned to the murder investigation has responded to the Indiana Supreme Court and said that Richard Allen, the suspect, Richard Allen's claims of not having access to all of the documents related to the case where he was charged with murder have no merit, and that he's not been hindered in any way from accessing all of the documents. Because previously, if you remember, the attorneys that were originally with Richard Allen, Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi, they filed a bunch of different motions with the Indiana Supreme Court saying they need the judge thrown out because they weren't granted access to all of the information available in the case.
By the way, they're his former attorneys because they were removed from the case by the judge in the aftermath of that evidence leak.
Right.
There was a leakage of photos of the crime scene to several different outlets, which is very troublesome to begin with.
The lawyers had asked the Supreme Court of Indiana to review Judge Fran Gull's handling of the case, and they had accused her of violating public access by keeping some of the filings a secret, claiming that she hadn't provided Richard Allen with complete access. Well, Judge Fran Gull, now I'm paraphrasing here, Nige, says, blank me, blank you.
Fran me, Fran you.
She responded yesterday saying that the attorneys were incorrect and they had all access to any document, both sealed and unsealed. And the judge went on to say that the suspect himself, Richard Allen, his own admission stated that he did not file a written motion seeking relief despite having ample opportunity. That failure alone warrants the court to reject this petition from Richard Allen and his former attorneys.
Still seems like kind of a mess over there concerning this whole trial and what happened with the suspect, his alleged mistreatment in prison. And lawyers, I think, are causing some chaos. It might sound like that kind of might be the idea here.
Right. So I was thinking about this. If their whole angle is to create chaos, and I think that's what it is, they want to make this thing a circus and a zoo. How are you supposed to handle this if you are the prosecution or if you are the judge? Because the headlines, we're going to talk about this, local TV stations, we're going to talk about that. They've got all these crazy headlines out there, and you just think, oh my God, this thing's a circus. But what is Judge Fran Gull and the prosecution supposed to do? The judge just came out and said, listen, you guys can rant and rave all you want, but you've had access to all of this information from day one. So just because you say something loudly does not mean that it's true.
And if you're the prosecution, just keep your head down and focus. And don't screw this one up. And cross every T, dot every I. If there's a piece of evidence or a piece of paper, or a piece of information that needs to be shared, share it.
Right.
Don't hide anything. Don't try to pull a fast one. Let's get this trial going, which won't be for another year, by the way.
And on that same conversation, if you're the defense of Richard Allen and you think your guy is being wrongfully accused, if you think it's somebody else, if it was a cult, if it was two other people, whatever the case, present the facts, present the information. I don't need the circus. If you've got the information and the facts on your side, if this case is televised, this trial is televised, which we believe it's going to be, everybody will see the information. We're all going to hear what's going on at the same time. So if you think your client is innocent, all right, fine. Fight fire with fire. Present the information. But when you just try to make it a circus, that tells me you don't have the ability to get your client off without some sort of bizarre technicality.
I mean, the leak of the crime scene photos alone is outrageous. That, I mean, has the, I don't know, obviously not a lawyer here, but I'm assuming that has the ability to taint an investigation when crime scene photos are leaked out to the public like they were.
So where are we at with people sticking up for bin Laden, Nige?
Oh, on TikTok.
So there's this stupid trend on TikTok now, this viral trend where predominantly younger people in their 20s are agreeing with the philosophy of Osama bin Laden and why they attacked America. This letter to America all of a sudden has found new life on TikTok. And the letter, which is filled with nothing but anti-Western, anti-Semitic language, is basically a justification from Osama bin Laden for the 9/11 attacks, which killed over 3,000 Americans in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania. Here's just a little montage of some of the younger generation talking about this letter on TikTok.
In reading the letter, I could only think of this tweet that I saw the other day. Under settler colonialism, any kind of resistance is branded as terrorist because the only acceptable violence is violence by the occupier. So please keep that in mind when reading the letter.
And America is the bully. And it's sad because they have brainwashed us to think that we was the best country on the planet. When in reality, we're the worst f***ing country on the planet.
It is just insane because this letter is so well written and so reasonably structured in an argument. Like, everything he said was valid.
Yeah, take that philosophy, take that letter down to a New York City firehouse and try to explain yourself to those guys that were there 20 plus years ago, pulling people out, watching their friends die. Try reasoning with a family that's lost, somebody that perished in an airplane flying into the World Trade Centers. The other thing I take from this is that these morons, these kids, this proves that they don't know anything. They didn't know that this was Osama bin Laden's philosophy. They're just now figuring this out. They weren't even alive when 9/11 happened. They're showing their ass is what they're doing. They're showing that they are very ignorant. Yes, that's Osama bin Laden's philosophy.
You mean to tell me people are showing their ass on TikTok? I don't believe it. How could that possibly be? I mean, this is the same platform that brought us such hits as the Tide Pod Challenge and the Burning Yourself on Coil Challenge. How could that possibly be, Nige? Tony Katz said something interesting early today, and I agree with him. This feels like this was a coordinated deal because it's very hard for me to comprehend that all of a sudden this big group of users on TikTok just now discovered Osama bin Laden's letter, and at the same time, all over the country, they started putting out videos. It does feel a little coordinated.
Play the very beginning of that again. What did that guy say about colonizer?
In reading the letter, I could only think of this tweet that I saw the other day. Under settler colonialism, any kind of resistance is branded as terrorist because the only acceptable violence...
This kid knows he's a quote-unquote colonizer, right? I mean, some people consider you a colonizer because you're living in the United States, who used to be... we colonized this land from the American Indians.
And I love the women that are speaking here. Do you really believe that if you went overseas and talked to Osama bin Laden, only good things would happen to you? Do you know what Osama bin Laden did to women and the way he treated women? And yet these dumb broads are going on TikTok talking about him like he's Gandhi.
He was women. He was being. Let's see. Osama bin Laden was using women as human shields the night he died.
Right. When Robert O'Neill kicked open that door and put a bullet in bin Laden's face, he was trying to use women as human shields. That's what women mean to that guy. And you've got these young 20-something women carrying his water on TikTok.
It's indoctrination, too. I mean, this is the kind of stuff they're learning in college, that white people are the oppressors. We're always going to be oppressed just because of the color of our skin. And there's certain people that will always be oppressed.
Right. Professional victim. That's what they teach in a lot of these colleges. Professional victimhood.
It's just funny that they didn't know that was the philosophy of Osama. They're just now learning this.
Right. And the one guy,
moron.
The one guy that was in the middle of that montage we played. All right, if you think this is the worst country in the world, go spend some time in Darfur. Go spend some time in Syria. Go spend some time in Afghanistan. Then come back to us and let us know. Listen, if you think the United States is worse than that, by all means, we'll apologize to you. Go spend some time with Fat Boy in North Korea. Oh, yeah. See how that works out for you. If you're looking for a reason to chug a few beverages tonight, Nige.
Always.
Today is National Unfriended Day.
On what?
Unfriended Day.
Well, how do you do that? How do you celebrate that?
So if you've been unfriended by somebody on social media, or you have unfriended somebody because they were a habitual troll and they started being a pain in the ass, this is the day you celebrate your self-care. It's National Unfriended Day.
I still don't understand. I don't get it, but whatever.
Have you ever been unfriended on social media because somebody doesn't like your radio show or your politics? Somebody that used to be a friend of yours.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe a couple of people that, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of that have written me privately and said, I can't believe you have this philosophy or something like that. Just off the top of my head, but I'm still friends with them. I'm not on Facebook that much anymore. I don't, and I accept anybody as a friend, right? So it's a public, it's not like it's the private page. I don't know who half these people are anyway.
I'm kind of the same way, but there are some people that I grew up with, man, that were in my wedding that are good people, and I've been a good friend to them, but they don't like my politics. So they've either unfriended me or they do that hide trick where, they don't show up on my timeline and all that kind of stuff.
I'm friends with people that disagree with me on a political level, for sure. And I know they have different politics, but they don't listen to me. And I normally don't on Facebook post anything political because I save it for this show.
Right. See, your friends sound like they're rational. Well, like the people, I guess, that I grew up with, man, I'm still the same fun goober that was at Beech Grove High School hanging out on the South Side. But some people, I can't believe you're that guy on the radio and you voted for Donald Trump. And okay, fine. So in honor of National Unfriended Day, here's a little tribute from Hammer and Nigel Records.
You have unfriended me. You have unfriended me. Don't know what I did that was so bad, but your unfriending has made me mad. So I sent your topless pictures off to your dad. Cause you have unfriended me. Oh yeah, you have unfriended me.
National Unfriended Day today.
Yeah. Big fan of friend of the show, Mackenzie, and her Facebook page. Remember Mackenzie?
Oh, yeah. Used to do the sports betting show with Mackenzie.
She also was the, Wish TV, did our segments with us on Wish TV back in the day.
She's in shape.
She's well put together, as Rob would say.
She is in shape. I am glad she has not unfriended me. Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, guys, look at it. Southbound 65 stop traffic from the dog leg. That's 865, by the way, down to 86th Street. We are not moving in that stretch in Pike Township. Inbound 69, stop and go. 96 to 82nd at eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Matt, get in here and do some radio with us.
Yes, sir.
Matt Bear scheduled to join us next. So follow us on that YouTube chat. The in-studio camera, we're going to put it on Matt Bear. We might just put it on his arm, maybe on his vape. I don't know. But if you want to see Matt Bear, come in here and check it out. It's the YouTube stream from WIBC, and get involved in the chat, too. You could also find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Hammer and Nigel. Right now, we've got gray, rain, and 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Hey, it's JMV, and the Miss M's Home and Garden Holiday Open House is this Saturday and Sunday on State Road 135 in Bargersville. MissM'sHomeandGarden.com.
Mark Dietel, real estate expert, only real estate agent I'd trust to sell my home or to find me a home, and it's not even close. Cindy and George in Indianapolis had a problem a lot of people are having. It's a good kind of problem, a job relocation with a hard start date, but they had them scrambling to get the house sold fast. Mark Dietel, of course, launching his intense marketing plan, got multiple offers, sold for the price they needed and plenty of time to move with money in their pocket for the next house.
There's only one agent that we trust and recommend, and that's Mark Dietel. Because Mark Dietel, he has the guarantee in place. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. If you don't believe us, call him. Talk to Mark Dietel yourself, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
Living healthy is challenging, but it starts with one step. Whether you're ready to take that first step or ready to step up to a new level, the Personal Training Experience will help you do it on your schedule in your home. It's a complete fitness solution with a program customized just for you. They provide the equipment and come to you with 100% in-home training. Workouts will always be challenging, but making them work for you doesn't have to be. Start today by signing up for a free in-home workout at thepersonaltrainingexperience.com.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I'm Nigel. Hammer's here. Matt Bear, Traffic Beats, live in studio with us as he is every Friday during this segment. What are you going to do with yourself? There's no Colts game this weekend, so you're not going to be cussing, you're not going to be sweating, you're not going to be throwing things at the TV. What the hell are you going to do with yourself?
I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a new man when I come in Monday.
The Colts are playing, so you're going to be happy.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's true. I mean, I was really excited about Gardner Minshew, the backup quarterback who's starting right now, but unfortunately, he's not as good when the other teams prepare for him. It seems like it's
hey,
not as easy.
There's a 2-game win streak going on right now.
Right.
They're only one game out of the
NFL.
playoffs right now. It's not bad, right?
And we beat the Patriots. So, it's not exactly Tom Brady Patriots, but, we beat them. So there's a good thing. Mac Jones, right?
It's a big week ahead, right? So Thanksgiving travel, I'm sure you're going to have your hands full on Wednesday, talking about that as people get ready to hit the road and see the relatives. What about you personally, Matt? What is Thanksgiving like when you get together with your family?
It's different. I mean, my family's all over the place. I mean, my parents, God bless them, are still alive, and they're living in Florida, and so is one of my sisters. My other sister is in Greenwood. I have a brother in Orlando, and it's really hard for us to get together anymore, and that's unfortunately not going to happen this year either.
So what's the plan?
Well, I'm going to be I'm not going to be spending it alone. Over the next month and a half, you have Thanksgiving coming up, you have Christmas coming up, and that's really what I want to tell people, because I know my situation is unique. I'm a middle-aged bachelor, for crying out loud. I have no kids. I've never been married, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. I have all three right there. Perfect for the holidays coming up.
The Hammer and Nigel show.
Matt Bear on the Hammer and Nigel. But I
So
know,
what's the philosophy then, especially in recovery? Would they tell you, will the experts say don't spend Thanksgiving by yourself? Or if you have family members that also get drunk and like to argue, don't be around that either?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. And I have two things on this. One, if you're going to a family function and you know it's going to be politically charged and you are in recovery, I'm not saying it's going to make you drink, but you might want to. And
right.
Given that circumstance, I ask myself, and I feel really kind of the other word for crappy here at the moment, because I love my family and I know I'm really blessed, but I can't imagine sacrificing a whole day just so you can subjugate yourself to that and listen to that kind of crap all afternoon. I mean, yeah.
Is it tough for you when you see others drinking at the holidays? Is it tough for you?
Let me answer that. You got me there.
It's probably tougher for you to sit there and listen to argue politically than it is for you to watch somebody else imbibe.
That requires multiple vape trips if you're doing that. And I don't know what you're vaping, but no, I would say, it's difficult in a sense because my family, we were so much fun. And, there's kind of I sometimes say culture of alcohol. We grew up drinking, whatever. Now, they didn't take it to the level that I did, no doubt about that. But when I get around them and I see that, I kind of look at it and I'm like, man, that was the only time I really had fun drinking, was when I was around these people, because they're fun and I'm watching them all have fun. I'm like, no, you're not like that. You can't do that anymore. You just can't do it. And that's when you have to have. Or maybe you
drank to maybe drown out some of the, or numb some of the, some of the shenanigans between brothers and sisters and moms and dads too.
If I recall correctly, it's probably me peeing in the fireplace generally. So if anybody was drinking to get away from the shenanigans, it's probably mine.
It's not Thanksgiving until Matt pees in the fireplace.
Yeah, if the turkey's in the oven, I'll find the fireplace. That's just a rule.
So, Matt, based off what I've heard from you about Thanksgivings in the past, I think this classic Hammer and Nigel Records song sums up your experience.
Well, I don't know why I came here today. I'll just smile real big and then go away. Yeah. These dinners with the family are great. One year I somehow got hit by a plate. Aunts to the left of me, uncles to the right. Here I am spending Thanksgiving with you. Being here is the best I could do. Everybody's drinking way too much booze. But my cousins are starting to fight, and neither one of them's what you call bright. Sisters to the left of me, drug bro on my right. Here I am spending Thanksgiving with you. You do not talk to me like that.
Feels like that was an anthem for you, Matt.
I see Michael Madsen and Reservoir Dogs, dancing in the scene with the year. I don't want to make it sound like I've ever had bad Thanksgivings with my family, because I really haven't. Yeah, you get into the normal, as we said earlier, shenanigans. But my point being is, if you don't have to stay the whole time, you don't have to subjugate yourself, and just have an escape plan. Especially if you are in recovery, have a way to get out of there. Plan who you're going to go with, know about what time you're going to leave, and if you have to drive yourself out or Uber, that's the plan, and stick with it.
What are you doing, real quick? What are you doing? Do you know yet for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving? Because we're not going to see you next week.
Absolutely. I'm going to do some things for some people, and I'm going to hang out at a friend's for Thanksgiving Day.
Right
It's going
on.
to be awesome. It's going to be special, and the bottom line is I'm blessed here every day, so I get no downward spiral when the holidays come up for me. I know where I'm at.
Matt, God bless you. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I know you're still working the rest of the day
today,
but happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels. You are an awesome dude.
I love you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you, and thank you to everybody who's tipping and going through these tough rush hours right now. You guys are doing really hard work right now. Love you all.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, if you're not an American Standard customer, you should be. If you don't have American Standard equipment installed in your house, you should really think about it, because you got a lot to focus on coming up here in the next couple of months. The last thing you want to be worried about is your furnace going out. So if you're in need of American Standard service, Hammer's going to tell you who you should check out.
How about Family Heating and Air Conditioning, the Morris family and their staff, ready to help you out this fall? You could call Rachel, you could call Marcus, or you could call Malia today to make sure that furnace is safe and ready to roll for when the cold, nasty weather comes in. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've already got a quote from another company and something doesn't look right, call Family Heating and Air, because nobody takes care of you like family. 317-577-8077. 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
PA Jewelers is your must-shop store for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. PA Jewelers already has fine jewelry and gemstones discounted 70% below the box stores. Now, on Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, you get 10% off everything PA Jewelers sells. Estate jewelry, watches, and jewelry from local artists. Visit PA Jewelers inside Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, 317-858-3030, or online at premierarms.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
2 nights in a row. Cloudy and 52 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Most of today's rain has moved on, says the radar. Low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. A 13-year-old boy was shot and killed in Indy Wednesday. Last night, the same thing for a 14-year-old girl. Kurt Darling reports.
It was on the east side at around 7 p.m.
IMT officers actually heard the gunshots being fired. They were in the area. Their lieutenant tells me. So they were here almost immediately.
IMPD says they got to where the shooting happened near 32nd and Emerson and found the 14-year-old girl shot to death. They looked around and found a second teenager alive but badly wounded. They were taken to Riley Hospital. It's the second day in a row that a teenager has been shot to death in Indianapolis. Kirk Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A 25-foot tower of cardboard at a waste management recycling facility was burning when Indianapolis firefighters showed up Thursday evening. Hotspots were a problem, says IFD Battalion Chief Rita Wright.
That can generate enough heat underneath of there that it can actually rekindle a fire that may have been on that surface.
That facility was near the Indianapolis Zoo. The fire was contained in about a half hour. Nobody was hurt. The White House wants to strengthen its relationship with Mexico. President Joe Biden met with their president in San Francisco today.
In our economic cooperation, we're growing our economies from the bottom up and the middle out. So not just the wealthy benefit, but all our citizens benefit.
The two leaders spoke about migration issues, drug trafficking, and relations with Cuba. We began the day with rain, but National Weather Service meteorologist Mike Ryan says that will change as the day goes on.
May actually even have some sun poke out before we get dark tonight as drier air comes in. And then for the weekend, we're expecting dry conditions, seasonable temperatures in the 50s.
Ryan says temperatures will fall this weekend with cooler air on the way. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.29, says GasBuddy.com. It's just below the national average, which is $3.31. Traffic and weather in 1 minute. Your time is 3:34.
Don't you love fall in Indy, but hate to pay
paint? Do what your neighbor Mark did. He called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with a Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. Better than paint.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
It was done in 2001. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic at 3:35, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, southbound 65 in the Pike stop traffic before the dog leg past 86th Street. And then westbound at 465 is going to be a little bit slow on the north side right around Michigan Road. Inbound 69 stop and go 96 to 82nd. The scanner just went off talking about a crash on eastbound 465 at Keystone Avenue. We're keeping an eye on that. There is a slowdown there to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and no payments, no interest for 20 months. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way towards Friday evening, skies will start to clear out. Temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a sunny but cooler Saturday ahead of us. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hello, my name is Nigel. Right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
The national spokeswoman for the GOP is Madison Jessiato Gilbert. She joins us now. Madison, it's been a busy week out in San Francisco with all the world leaders getting together and having parties and playing grab ass. And I'm just curious as to your thoughts on the big meeting that took place between Joe Biden and President Xi.
Well, first, let's start with the fact that they cleared up the streets in about 10 seconds in San Francisco, despite people across the city, across the state, across the country complaining for years about what's going on, them claiming they're doing everything they can do, and then overnight, all of a sudden, the streets are spotless as President Xi Jinping comes to town. So I think that's my first takeaway from the week. But, I mean, Biden's so weak. You look at him, you look at every single thing that he said publicly. I can't even imagine what President Xi Jinping and others think and say behind closed doors about him. He's appeased China for years, so that's nothing new. But his incompetence is just quite stunning at this point.
I mean, how bad is it that Gavin Newsom basically laughing in the face, and the mayor of San Francisco just laughing at their constituency, at the citizens, the taxpayers there, saying, yeah, we cleaned up the streets, we didn't spend any extra money, we got the bums off, we got the poop out, we got the needles out, and we had the ability to do it all along. And they're just looking at you, and the people of San Francisco, the Democratic voters there hate Republicans so bad they sit there and take it.
Yeah, you know, and it's really sad. I mean, you really have to feel for the people in San Francisco who have been affected by this. You have to feel for the people that are on the streets. So many of them are homeless veterans in our country that have no support, but we continue to support illegal immigrants, giving them everything they want over the people who have served our nation. So that breaks my heart when you think about that. But you're right. They laughed in the faces of these people. They laughed in the faces of our nation. When asked about it in a press conference, Newsom says, oh, yeah, it's true because it's true, and laughs. I mean, it was just absolutely appalling. And then he goes on to say, oh, you know, it's like when you're a kid and you have to make your bed or clean up your house because you're having company over. And it's like, no, that's the whole point. That's not what it's supposed to be like. If you sincerely couldn't do anything about it, then that's different. But that is so not the case, and we all know that. So we see time and time again these politicians that lie to us. They lie in our faces, and they say, oh, we're doing everything we can. And as people continue to suffer, and across the country, you see with the Biden administration, oh, they're, you know, laughing about the economy, turning it around, things are great. Anybody living in this country knows that's not true.
And Madison, you mentioned something earlier that's spot on. The world is laughing at how weak Joe Biden is. we know what he talked about in this meeting with President Xi, because when he had that press conference and he pulled out the card of pre-approved reporters, the only ones that he was allowed to call upon, he told them what was on the conversation docket, but none of it was really anything important. I didn't hear him talk anything at all about COVID responsibility or the Chinese spy balloon that made its way across the United States. I didn't hear any of that.
No, he talked about none of it, but you look all the way back to the early 2000s, and we look at the reason why partially China's in the position they are today as they entered the World Trade Organization, as they became more economically powerful. You had people like Joe Biden that pushed for that at the time said, oh, China will never be more of an economic threat to us than the Netherlands. Let's put them in the World Trade Organization. Let's support them. It was the most ignorant thing we could have done in the early 2000s, and we have Biden to thank for that. And at that time, he was not 80 years old and senile. He was perfectly capable and still made these horrible decisions. So when you look at his decisions on China, like I said, this is not anything new. He's continued to be soft on China. He's been doing it for years, as he has been with Iran and other countries as well. I mean, it's not isolated to just China. The reason we're seeing what we're seeing in the Middle East is because of Joe Biden's weakness, because of the United States of America not being in a position to put these countries at bay, to make them fear what would happen if they were to do things like this, if they were to fund terrorist organizations like Hamas. And so I think this is a worldwide issue. It's not isolated just to our domestic issues. I think internationally we're seeing problems we wouldn't have seen if we had strong Republican leadership.
Madison Jessiato Gilbert is our guest. She's the national spokeswoman for the GOP. One more thing on this big shindig they had out in San Francisco, Madison. When you look at what's going on in the world, there's a major war in Israel. There's a war that we're still funding going on between Russia and Ukraine. Two major conflicts. The world is burning, yet all of the world leaders, from Justin Trudeau to President Xi to Kamala Harris, the good Dr. Jill Biden, they all got together and had a private concert watching Gwen Stefani the other night. Like, these are the most powerful group of people in the world. They're all in one place. And while the world is burning, they're watching the girl behind Holla Back Girl.
You're not lying. And I love Gwen Stefani. She's a great artist. But at the same time, if you're leading some of the most powerful nations in the world to be just sitting around partying like nothing's going on, and we saw it during COVID as people suffered, as people lost lives, as people lost their livelihoods, they lost their jobs. And obviously we saw the huge mental health crisis that spurred as a result of so much of what these politicians did. But yet they continued to go out and be hypocrites, and they went to dinners when we were all stuck at home. And obviously California was a prime example of that. And so you see across the world as people suffer, these people don't care. And that's why people are fed up with politicians. I mean, you look back at 2016 and you look at President Trump's rise and how he won in 2016. A lot of that came from the very harsh reality that people felt that they had been forgotten about. A lot of people came out to vote in 2016 that had never voted in years, or maybe never before at all in their lifetime, because they felt like they had a voice, that somebody that cared about them. And so you see, whether it be with Biden or in other countries with some of these other world leaders, as you keep an eye on, people protesting in those countries as well, you see that they're fed up. They're fed up with the fact that they feel that these people just don't put them first. And clearly, Biden has not put us first in the United States of America. He doesn't care. Kamala Harris is no different, no better. She would be worse than Joe Biden in many people's eyes. I mean, Democrats don't even like her. The bench is not deep on the Democratic side, and that becomes, I think, more and more apparent by the day. The Republican side, we have a deep bench. I mean, we have a lot of great options out there of people who could lead, whether that be in the presidency or, in potential Senate seats in the future, things like that. We have really, really great Republicans who are very fiscally responsible, that are conservative people out there who think with their brains, they think with common sense, they want a prosperous American future, and that's what we need, and that's what we deserve. That's what Americans across this country deserve. They deserve somebody who's going to stand up and be a voice for them.
Madison, one more thing here before we let you go. This past week, we're kind of seeing Joe Manchin do his unofficial campaign across the news networks now. Joe Manchin, the outgoing Democrat senator from West Virginia, although he has sided with Republicans in the past, there's a lot of chatter that he's going to be running as a third party, maybe having somebody like Mitt Romney on his ticket, a Democrat-Republican ticket. What do you think about some of these third parties that are out there? And I guess we could put RFK Jr. in that same conversation here. What does the Republican committee and the GOP feel like about these folks that are going to be running as third parties?
Well, I think RFK Jr. is a good example you bring up, because I think when you look at the media and how they're presenting him and how you're seeing some of how he's presented on the internet through social media as well, is he's presented as this like reasonable guy who's not really a liberal. But in reality, there's not much daylight between the Democratic Party and RFK Jr. So I think that it's a threat to really both parties, but he definitely has acknowledged that he believes he would take more votes from Republicans. And so people should not be fooled by this. These people are not there to push conservative values. They are not there for fiscal responsibility. You can go down the list of policies that RFK Jr. specifically has supported in the past that are disastrous, from the Paris Climate Accord to so much else. And I don't think it's great for Republicans. I don't want to see more independents in the race. I think we need a Republican in there, and I don't want Republicans to be fooled by any of this.
Madison Gisiato Gilbert, national spokeswoman for the GOP. Madison, thank you so much for your time. Have a great, safe Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to be with you again.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, my new Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. You should see the miracle, the absolute miracle that Galaxy worked in my garage. My old garage floor was stained. It was cracked. It was uneven. It was dirty. And within a day, Galaxy Concrete coatings came in, made it 4 times as strong. The color's not going to fade. It's easy to clean. The new coating on my garage floor is amazing. It's beautiful. And it's not epoxy. It's better than epoxy. They use polyurea, the new premium standard for coatings. And the manufacturer, by the way, just upgraded the warranty from 15 years to life. So see before and after pictures on their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call to set up an appointment, 751-9070.
I really like our plumbers at Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. They know their lines. They know water lines, drain lines, clog lines, pickup lines. Okay, maybe in their younger days. When I was a kid, there was a game show on TV called What's My Line? Our plumbers would have been world champions. Along with Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing having the best plumbers around, they're also very nice, clean, and pleasant guys to have in your home. So the next time you have trouble in the kitchen, laundry, or bathroom, throw us a line at Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, 255-HEAT, where you can trust your flush to us.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. And we hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love, and in the process creating some generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things to ever greater memories over time. What a return on investment. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to thinkwallet.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $25,000 in minutes. No need to search through endless loan sites or filling out tons of forms. Thinkwallet.com is one of the largest personal loan marketplaces with over 100 lenders for all credit types. Whether you have good credit or it needs work, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need fast. Just fill out the quick form and get approved for up to $25,000 in minutes. There's no paperwork to submit. You can do it right from your phone. Best part? The money can be in your bank account as soon as the next day. Whether you need money for bills, an emergency, or whatever reason, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need regardless of your credit history. When you need extra cash, go to thinkwallet.com. That's thinkwallet.com. Thinkwallet.com.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts meet you at one convenient appointment. We let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lungcancercare.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Our Black Friday blowout sale is here. Lazy Boy sofas start at $8.99. Lazy Boy recliners starting at $4.85. Save up to $1,500 on Smith Brothers sectionals and up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Low price, guarantee, free delivery, interest-free financing. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, do you like to save big bucks?
I like big bucks. I cannot lie.
And the other brothers can't deny?
What? You know I don't have any siblings.
Well, let's just say that right now you can save big bucks on major brand tires.
I like big bucks.
And you cannot lie.
Why would I lie, Mike?
Never mind.
Stop by Tire Discounters and save up to $300 big bucks on select major brands, plus a free alignment with any 4-tire purchase.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Friendly reminder to change your filter. Head on over to our website at familyhvac.net for some of the best pricing on filters around.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live, whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
All right, little breaking news here. House Speaker Mike Johnson has released the January 6th tapes to the American public.
Somewhere Kevin McCarthy's going, you son of a... Because wasn't that Kevin McCarthy's whole thing when he was Speaker of the House?
Yeah, he leaked a little bit to Tucker, and that was it. But the whole thing apparently is now out there. I've retweeted it at Hammer and Nigel. I posted it on the Hammer and Nigel Show Facebook. So make sure you follow us, like us, love us, stalk us, do whatever you have to do. But if you want to see it for yourself, there you go. All right, Matt Bear.
Hammer southbound 65 in Pike Township crash at 82nd Street. And it looks like a SUV kissed a guardrail here, also involving a semi. And now it looks like 3 gentlemen are in front of the semi trying to push it. I don't know. Traffic has stopped past the dogleg almost to Whitestown Parkway. Looking at eastbound 465 on the northeast side. That's a crash at Keystone Avenue, right lane taken. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Ah, Royal Spa. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And again, the January 6th tapes, I believe, in their entirety.
No, I'm watching, like they have these. I'm watching a clip right now where people are just kind of coming into one of the big hallways, and police are kind of just directing them. Yeah, go this way, this way, this way. Just kind of directing them where to go now that they were in the building.
So, in that clip, do you see democracy being threatened, Nige?
In no way, shape, or form.
Okay. Watch it for yourself. Again, we put it on our Facebook. Hammer and Nigel Show on Facebook, at Hammer and Nigel on Twitter. It's 52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center here at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Snoop Dogg claiming he's given up smoking weed, Hammer. I mean, that's like who Snoop Dogg is. That's how he built his persona. That's his brand, is smoking weed, right?
In 2021, he did an interview, and he claimed that he had 81 smoke breaks a day. He loved weed so much that he had a full-time staff member whose only job was to roll up his blunts.
Good gig. I think that was a six-figure salary.
And now you're telling me that he's giving all that up.
Well, on Instagram, he posted like a picture of himself on Instagram, very pensive-looking picture of him, very serious. And it just said, after much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time.
So he's giving up smoking weed and he's acting like a loved one just died.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Please respect my privacy at this time. Now, why do you, there's something behind this, obviously. I mean, why do you need to go on social media and announce that you've stopped smoking weed?
Is he going to be doing edibles instead? Maybe he's not smoking weed. Maybe he's getting his weed another way. Maybe it's an edibles thing. I don't know.
Maybe he's got emphysema.
Maybe. I mean, he's getting old up there now. Like, you can't laugh at this kind of stuff now. But this brings us to great moments in Snoop Dogg history. Here's a little mashup somebody put together. It's Snoop Dogg with the big song from the movie Grease. You remember Grease with Travolta and Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah.
Take a listen.
It's the one and only Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E. Out of town, put it down for the father of rap. And if you happen to get cracked, shut your trap.
This is ridiculous. That's stupid.
Oh, here it is.
Lord, all right.
Great moments in Snoop Dogg history. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You see them coming in your rearview mirror. Big trucks can cause big wrecks on our Indiana roads.
I'm attorney Daryl Ozitz, the Hammer. We're here to stop these big trucks and their big insurance companies. If you've been injured by a dump truck, delivery truck, concrete truck, or any kind of big truck, we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
The best values of the year are this weekend at Diamonds Direct. Save an extra 20% store-wide. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, designer jewelry. It's our biggest and final store-wide sale of 2023, and we're holding nothing back. Shop early for Christmas and get the year's best value prices. Thousands of engagement rings on sale too. Plus special financing. This is the big one with in-store designer appearances all weekend, including Sunday. Get all the details now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
When your health is complicated, it's important that your health insurance is not. That's why CareSource offers affordable marketplace plans with a premium network that helps you stay healthy. In addition to doctor visits, emergency services, hospital care, and prescription benefits, we also provide dependable coverage for chronic conditions like diabetes, too. To learn more about our marketplace health plans, visit caresource.com/marketplace. CareSource, we got you.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts meet you at one convenient appointment We let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile, all on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on RootMetrics US report. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a teenager was shot and killed in Indianapolis last night. How a fire not far from the zoo was put out Thursday. And a Broadway tour for a movie you may have seen is coming to Indianapolis. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You've got temperatures in the 50s downtown with plenty of clouds. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
3 new attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A U.S. military official telling Fox News these happened in the past 24 hours, making 61 attacks over the past month by Iran proxies targeting U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria. One of the new drone attacks injuring a U.S. service member in Syria. There have been 61 injuries total, but all have returned to duty. Meantime, the State Department just designating an Iran-affiliated militia group in Iraq and its leader as global terrorists, hitting several members with sanctions. Facing a big jump nationwide in reports of anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim discrimination, the U.S. Education Department is taking what they say is aggressive action, opening discrimination investigations, including at 7 colleges.
It's happening through the Office for Civil Rights. So far, the Mays Unified School District, Lafayette College, Cornell University, Columbia University, Wellesley College, the University of Pennsylvania, and the Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art. 5 of the complaints allege anti-Semitic harassment. 2 allege anti-Muslim harassment. The U.S. Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona, anticipates that this list of schools under investigation will grow.
Fox's Molly Line. The judge in the Trump civil fraud trial in New York has just tossed out the defense motion for a mistrial. The former president calls the case a biased witch hunt. Artificial intelligence on the agenda at the Asia-Pacific Summit in California.
This is a shared challenge and requires shared solutions.
President Biden urging APEC leaders to work together on seizing opportunity and mitigating the risks of AI. Just getting word that former First Lady Rosalind Carter is now in hospice care at home, where former President Jimmy Carter entered hospice care in February. He's 99, Mrs. Carter is 96, and suffers from dementia. On Wall Street, stocks finish higher, barely. The Dow up about a point at the closing bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Gun violence in the capital city, 51 degrees and cloudy downtown. Mostly clear with your radar, low of 31 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A teenager was shot and killed last night around 32nd and North Emerson, says IMPD.
IMPD officers actually heard the gunshots being fired. They were in the area, their lieutenant tells me. So they were here almost immediately.
The teenager who died was a 14-year-old girl. The second who was shot is now in the hospital in critical condition. The family of an Indianapolis boy who was shot and killed Wednesday wants whoever did it to turn themselves in. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Deion Lyles had big dreams, says his cousin.
He always put a smile on people's face, and he loved basketball. He was going to, be a little NBA star.
D'Anthony Patterson told our news gathering partners Wish TV that the family wants justice for Deion. His mother says,
my son doesn't do anything wrong, so I couldn't see it coming, but it happened.
Neighbors say they heard gunshots on Wednesday night and saw a car speed off. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC. Mobile News.
Indianapolis firefighters responded to the waste management facility just outside the Indy Zoo Thursday. A 25-foot tall stack of cardboard was burning outside the building, and waste management employees had to help out.
We needed their expertise and skills working with an excavator to move those piles and break apart that pile so that we could get underneath it there and make sure we extinguish everything.
Rita Wright, battalion chief with IFD. The fire was under control in about 30 minutes. The Broadway tour of Frozen is coming to the Circle City. Terry Stacy has more.
Disney's Broadway tour of Frozen continues at the Old National Center, starring Caroline Bowman as Elsa.
I love her. And the adrenaline rush I get when I sing Let It Go every single day, I feel like I've run a mile at my fastest speed after I'm finished singing. It takes everything out of me, and I love it. It's everything you love from the movie, plus 12 new songs that you have not heard before. We really kind of take it a step further than you see in the movie.
Performances through November 26th. Broadway and Indianapolis.com for tickets. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Real Estate Research reports housing prices are still slowly rising, and inventory is still below historical averages. Now is a great time to get a big payday from your equity growth. Hire the agent who is an expert on maximizing your home price fast, Mark Dietel. Maybe you want maximum equity for your home, but not sure how. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Ben near Speedway had to say about working with Mark Dietel. After 48 years, it was time to downsize and cash in on my equity. I heard about Mark on the radio and hired him, and he delivered as promised. Mark got me a cash offer with no appraisal before the home went on the market at the price I wanted. Call for all the details. Call the agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 65 at West 86th Street. That is a crash blocking the right lane and stopping traffic back to Whitestown Parkway. Now, crews have the left lane taken on the northbound side at the crash site. That is to assist, and traffic is stopped back to 71st, so stopped on 65 both directions in Pike Township. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 21st to Meridian Padded. Eastbound 465 at Keystone, that crash is cleared. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way towards Friday evening, skies will start to clear out. Temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a sunny but cooler Saturday ahead of us. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Happy Friday, everybody! My name is Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here. Producer Allison is here. We got Harrison Silcox. We got Matt Baer. And normally, when we check in with the first family of the United States, we have customized music for the big guy, Joe Biden. But this time we're going to do something a little different. We have an update on Hunter Biden.
Oh.
So let's check in with gun-toting, crack-smoking, stripper-poking Hunter Biden.
You smoke crack, don't you? Don't smoke crack.
Then the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
The official Hunter Biden music. So the House Oversight Committee and the chair, James Comer, have revealed that Hunter will be subpoenaed, this time to testify before the committee on or before December 4th in connection to the money laundering that the Biden crime family's got going on.
Sure.
Here is the House Oversight Chair, James Comer.
We said by December the 4th, and we expect to have him here on Capitol Hill December the 4th or earlier. Now, we haven't heard from his attorney, but obviously we know they received the subpoena, because what do? Just days later, they subpoena Donald Trump. You know, I mean, they're always going to try to blame it on Trump somehow, the money they've taken from China and Romania. But at the end of the day, we're ready to bring Hunter Biden in because we have the bank records and we can connect the dots, and we can ask Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, and the entire Biden family that's been receiving wires from our enemies around the world. We can ask them specific questions about specific transactions. We have no idea what the Biden family did to receive all this money, and I think the American people deserve to know what the First family has done with our enemies around the world to receive tens of millions of dollars.
And really, yes, Hunter Biden's going to be the one that gets dragged in there to answer the questions, but all roads lead back to the big guy here.
And that's what it was really all about. It's tying Joe Biden into this. 10% for the big guy.
Right.
Everything, dozens of LLCs created just for which didn't do anything except house money and then pass it out to the Biden family.
Right.
The grandkids.
Grandkids are getting money from Chinese oligarchs. Like, how does that work? Does everybody's grandkids? Maybe I'm the only one missing out here. I don't have any grandkids. I don't know. But I never got any money from the Chinese when I was growing up. Does everybody else get that? I don't get it. I don't think that's normal. And it feels like there's some money laundering going on here. Now, for those of you saying, well, you Republicans, you disgusting conservatives, you're just going after Hunter Biden because Donald Trump's being investigated. Well, here is CNN's legal analyst, Ellie Honing, talking about the developments in this Hunter Biden investigation.
It's bad news for Hunter Biden any way you slice this. I mean, let's remember, he already has a pending indictment in the federal district court in Delaware for the firearms-related charges, and now he potentially is looking at a second indictment out of California. And if we think about the potential tax charges here, it's important to keep in mind, when Hunter Biden went into court a few months ago with DOJ, they had a deal that he was going to plead guilty to misdemeanor tax offenses, and they agreed, DOJ and Hunter Biden agreed that he had failed to pay over $1 million in income taxes that he owed. So assuming, which I think is a fair assumption, that DOJ has evidence of that, that feels like the minimum charges he may face. It may get worse, but it's important to understand the fact that there's a grand jury does not ensure that there will be an indictment, but it certainly does make it more likely, and that's a problem.
I'm sorry, you said that clip was from Fox News?
No, not Fox, not Newsmax, not Breitbart. That was CNN's legal analyst.
Hunter is such a F-up. You got to think. If I was Hunter Biden, I'd be so insecure. Like, do you think it's ever crossed Hunter's mind? Like, has he ever thought to himself, yeah, I bet my dad wishes it was me instead of Bo that passed away.
Oh, wow. That's pretty dark.
I'm sure that's probably crossed his mind once or twice because he is a colossal F-up.
Do you think Hunter Biden takes any responsibility for all the heat coming back to the big guy? Do you think Hunter,
like the fall guy?
As a son, feels like, man, I'm an idiot. I screwed up everything for my dad. He might not get reelected. We got subpoenas coming our way. I'm an idiot. Like, do you ever think that crosses his mind?
No. He's too narcissistic. He's a victim here. I mean, hell, he's trying to subpoena Donald Trump.
That's true. That is true.
In regards to some of the gun charges.
And the apple doesn't fall too far from the trees because Joe Biden's a horrible, rotten bastard. He's been a horrible person for a long time. It's just now that he's getting older, it's more glaring, right? He says the quiet part out loud a lot more now. But he's always been a rotten person down to the core.
It was supposed to be Beau Biden that was carrying on the Biden legacy. Let's be honest with each other. I mean, he was a politician, a longtime attorney general in Delaware. He did serve in the Iraq War, came back and died of brain cancer.
Was not addicted to crack.
And
did not knock up a stripper.
He was in the Delaware Army National Guard. He's in the JAG Corps. He was over there as a lawyer. But so he wasn't on the front lines. Joe Biden tries to identify with Gold Star families, like, oh yeah, I had a son die in Iraq. Well, not really.
No,
but it was
didn't.
It was Beau Biden that was supposed to carry on that Biden legacy, and I think it's going to pretty much stop with Joe.
And Hunter's such a scumbag. He slept with his widow. Like, Beau,
right.
His widow, Hunter Biden hit that. That's the kind of scumbags that we're dealing with here. But you know what? Here's the thing. Hunter Biden could walk into that hearing, if it happens on December 4th, look at James Comer right in the face and say, we've been money laundering for years. We've been in bed with the Ukrainians. We've been in bed with the Chinese. What are you going to do about it? This Department of Justice would say, nothing to see here. Like Frank Drebin in front of the fireworks stand that's exploding in the Naked Gun. Please disperse.
Please.
Nothing to see here. So we've checked in with Hunter Biden, and now let's check in with wheeling, dealing, hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs. Get ready, pal. You're going in for a problem. Visit vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
Vaccines.gum. That's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Nothing freshens your breath like vaccines.gum. So remember when Joe Biden had all those classified documents in his garage next to the bitchin' Corvette?
Oh, yeah.
And they had the garage door open all the time, and Hunter Biden, who was addicted to drugs, was coming and going, and there sat all of the classified documents that, honestly, he shouldn't have had in the first place.
I seem to remember somebody else also being accused of the same thing and being indicted for that.
Well, there was a former president named Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And there was a number of these things at Mar-a-Lago that were locked up, like in safes, locked up in closets, where you really had to break in to get to them. Hell, these things were sitting next to like the turtle wax in his garage, stacked up, next to the oily rags he uses to, kind of wipe down the lawnmower.
WD-40. It's the WD-40 shelf and then the classified documents.
Right. And again, Joe Biden has never been the president. The highest level of the food chain he got where these classified documents came from.
Vice president.
Vice president.
You're not allowed to have those when you're vice president.
He's the president now, but that's not when these documents came from. These were during his time as the vice president. So Bob Hur, the special counsel investigating this classified document situation, has found that nobody will be charged. He's going to be, quote, critical of Biden and his staff for the way they handled sensitive materials, but not bring charges.
Wait a minute. Wait, what'd you say? He's going to be critical? What?
Quote, we will be critical of Biden and his staff for the way they handled sensitive materials, but there will not be charges.
So the special counsel is going to write a sternly worded letter to Biden and his staff and be, quote, critical for the way they handled the sensitive classified documents.
That he should not have had because he was not the president at the time these documents were stored.
Oh, wow. So he's going to get a tongue lashing from this.
Right. This is just like Hillary's private email server and Comey all over again. It's the exact same thing. Well, the old man, number 45, he wasn't real happy with the way things have played out. He took to Truth Social. And Nigel, I think on this Friday, we could all use your awesome rockin' Donald Trump impression.
A lot of pressure.
This is what Donald Trump had to say in regards to this story that nobody's going to be charged for the Biden classified documents.
Wow! Responding on Truth Social, fake news CNN, through a leak from the Department of Injustice, has reported that no charges, none, will be filed in a much bigger case than mine, crooked Joe Biden document case. We are living in a very corrupt country.
There it is.
Selective prosecution. Prosecutorial misconduct. It's so bad. I can't believe you did.
It's so bad it's good, though. Like, that's what I love about your Trump impression. It's so bad that it's good. So, there you go. Nobody's going to get in trouble for classified documents in a garage where a crackhead was coming and going, and hell, Lord knows how many people he brought through that garage. Drug dealers, prostitutes, his brother's widow. Nobody knows. You kids get out of here, according to the special counsel. Get out of here, you little scamp. Rubbed Hunter's hair, Joe Biden's hair, sent them on their way. All right, Matt Bear.
All right, we are looking at Pike Township right now. It is a crash southbound 65 at 86. That's blocking the right lane, and traffic is stopped past Whitestown Parkway now. It's a hell of a delay there in the southbound lanes, 58 minutes from the back of the line. Northbound 65 has shut down to assist on the southbound side, so northbound 65 now closed for the moment at 86th Street. That puts us back to 465 with stopped traffic for, well, the delay time is 29 minutes. That's obviously going to go up as that northbound side is now closed. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury, call Isaacs and Isaacs, the law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for Insta traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Gray skies, got a little rain in some parts of the WIBC listening area. 52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and we will play a fun round of Is This Anything next.
Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's where my wife and I got our Tempur-Pedic mattress. It's where our son got his new queen mattress, and both times they delivered for free, and they took the old mattresses with them. And if it's not a mattress you're in the market for, they've got a huge Black Friday blowout sale going on right now. Lazy Boy sofas at $899. Recliners start at $485. Save up to $1,500 on Smith Brother sectionals. Low price guarantee, free delivery, interest-free financing. Thompson Furniture and Mattress at Columbus.
Owned and operated by the same family since 1927. They still offer free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. So if you need an awesome Tempur-Pedic mattress, if you're looking for a new couch, love seat, they will bring it, they will set it up, they will take the old ones back, they do all the work. This is an awesome Hoosier business. They support us. Take care of these guys. Thompson Furniture and Mattress. Stop by. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today. With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
It's Terry Stacy with an important announcement for Scouting supporters. On December 12th, you can join Governor Holcomb on the field of Lucas Oil Stadium for the Governor's Luncheon for Scouting. The luncheon is Crossroads of America Council's largest fundraiser of the year. Funds raised provide support and programs to more than 17,000 youth and 450 scouting units in central Indiana. WIBC is proud to serve as a sponsor this year. Gates open at 11 with the program starting at noon. Register at crossroadsbsa.org/govlunch to support Scouting.
This hour on 93 WIBC, Power by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I'm going to run some stories by you. You break down all the information and give us a verdict. Is the story anything or not? Is this anything? A police chase in Wisconsin ended up in a porta potty after police attempted to pull over a driver in a hit and run.
Wow.
One of the four suspects being chased ended up in the porta john on a golf course.
Ooh.
A golfer tipped off the police as to where the suspect was. Here's the golfer that did the tipping And
he tipped it over?
Like, take a listen to this.
There was no thought. I just knew what the right thing was to do, and I did it.
Adam tipped it over and heard the sloshing from the porta potty. It was literally a crappy situation.
Hi-oh!
So this guy saw the police chasing after the suspect, the hit and run driver, and he hides in a porta potty. So this dude on the golf course tips it over.
Yes.
And she heard, and then that other person heard stuff sloshing around all over the place.
And you know what was sloshing around?
Oh, that makes me so sick. Porta potties are so gross. I mean, they're a necessity.
They are.
But you go in the wrong one of those. Like some I've been in, they're clean, but they're still disgusting, right?
Right.
Others I've gone into, it looks like a diarrhea bomb has just gone off in the entire thing.
Like, how did they get it on the ceiling?
Exactly. Maybe they did. I mean, there's I think it was in Jackass 3. Remember that scene where Steve-O answers the age-old question of what happens when you bungee jump in a porta potty? They actually had these giant cranes with giant bungee cords, and he was strapped in the porta potty, and this flood of excrement comes out on the way. It's so disgusting. I was watching it just a minute ago. I was like, I'm not watching it again.
Steve-O really was the star of all the Jackass movies.
I still haven't seen the latest one.
Oh, it's funny. It's really funny. You'll laugh out loud. Now, I'm just going to prepare you right now. I don't think this is a spoiler. There's a lot of Steve-O crank in it.
Really? That doesn't surprise me.
So if you're okay with, getting through some of those parts, you will laugh out loud, belly laugh at the final Jackass movie.
Might have to check that out tonight.
Is this anything? A Japanese steakhouse in Florida is being accused of serving food that was tainted with meth.
Oh, no.
Here are some of the customers who were allegedly drugged at the restaurant, along with people who still felt comfortable eating there on a regular basis.
It took several days for me to get a full night's sleep, even then I have nightmares. We all tested positive for methamphetamines.
Heart rate spiked. I remember seeing the heart rate monitor hit nearly 200.
Oh, wow.
I was horrified of what that meant.
I also saw that Nico's posted a Facebook update about how they were compliant with the police.
The owners probably aren't the ones that have to do with it. It's probably not their fault.
Whose fault is it? How do you get meth tainted Japanese food? I'm assuming it's either the owners or the cooks. Somebody fooling around. I don't think I'd ever go back to the Japanese restaurant that had meth tainted.
Maybe the supply came in and it was in the supply, right? Maybe nobody at the restaurant physically put meth in there and they were cooking it up. Maybe it was part of the shipment that came in. I don't know. Trying to make excuses for the meth kitchen in Florida. Is this anything? A doctor who posts videos on TikTok has gone viral with her 5 things your primary care physician wants you to know.
Okay.
First of all decisions are shared. We literally learned what's called shared decision making in medical school. If you don't want to do something that we recommend, that's absolutely fine, but just know we'll probably ask why, just to make sure that you have a good understanding of what's going on, and so we can better understand you and your goals and preferences. Number 2, you do not need to do any special grooming to come to the doctor. No shaving, no waxing, special cleansing, none of that. We've literally seen it all. This is our job, what we do for a living. You're good as you are. Side note, if you need a pelvic exam and you're on your period, that's okay. Turns out we do not faint at the sight of blood.
Are you taking notes, Allison?
Good God, Nigel. Good Lord.
I will confess something, though, here. Hold on. I will confess something. Before my vasectomy, I groomed myself.
Did you?
I cleaned up down there. And I actually, on top of that, when I had a physical that required, years before that, I had a full body physical, like a real one where the guy says, please, take down your shorts, going to make sure there's no lumps or anything down there.
Turned your head and cough treatment?
Yeah, and I prepared myself. I thought it was a polite thing to do.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Yes, he is the proper... Yeah, he appreciated it very much. I'm certainly did.
How would you feel, and this is a serious question, if he's doing the turn your head and cough thing, and he looks at you and goes, "Aw, you shaved."
Of course. That's a polite thing to do, I would think. I didn't know these tips. I had no idea the doctor didn't care if you groomed yourself or not.
That is so thoughtful. Thank you. I'm really going to check for your hernia now.
The vasectomy part was just so embarrassing, though, because it was a male doctor, but there was a female standing there, too, as a nurse or whatever. They're both sitting there looking at me. He's poking around in there. He's feeling around. I'm like, this is weird.
But the optical illusion, though, is once you shave off all the hair, it makes it look bigger.
Not that day. No, it was a scared little turtle. I was nervous wreck.
Allison, I think that's a promo. Allison, that's a promo for this radio program right there.
It's a report to HR, I think.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Don't wait until Gold Friday. Get revved up now.
Now Halliburton will go to work, center of the floor. Set, shot, three, and he does it again.
The Pacers pre-Gold Friday sale has tipped off. Brown for another three. Bruce Brown has made six.
About the speed of this team. Free Gold Friday deals presented by Key Bank are underway with tickets as low as $5 when the Pacers meet the Raptors Wednesday at 7. Get your tickets at pacers.com/Gold Friday.
Living healthy is challenging, but it starts with one step. Whether you're ready to take that first step or ready to step up to a new level, the Personal Training Experience will help you do it on your schedule in your home. It's a complete fitness solution with a program customized just for you. They provide the equipment and come to you with 100% in-home training. Workouts will always be challenging, but making them work for you doesn't have to be. Start today by signing up for a free in-home workout at thepersonaltrainingexperience.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to be cold. Cloudy and 51 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on your radar. Low temperatures drop to the 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving, National Weather Service forecaster Mike Ryan says
Wednesday and Thursday look decent for travel conditions in terms of it being dry, but it'll be cold. And then that cold weather should linger into the weekend. We may see a little bit of a recovery next weekend.
Ryan says there could be some snow by next Tuesday. A pile of cardboard was burning and smoking at a waste management facility near the Indy Zoo Thursday when Indianapolis firefighters showed up. IFD Battalion Chief Rita Wright says they had to take out some hot spots.
That can generate enough heat underneath of there that it can actually rekindle a fire that may have been on that surface.
The fire was contained in about half an hour. Nobody was hurt. President Joe Biden is wrapping up his time at the APEC Summit.
U.S. companies have announced more than $500 billion investments into APEC economies to build new subsea cables, decarbonizing energy grids, and complete the largest U.S. airline expansion into the South Pacific in our history.
Biden also announced investments in clean energy and boosting supply chains. A deal between the United Auto Workers Union and Stellantis has gotten enough yes votes to be ratified. Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports.
United Auto Workers members have given a thumbs up to new contracts with the three big U.S. automakers, Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. An agreement with Ford Motor Company was already passing with more than 67% support on Friday morning when union members at Ford's Dearborn truck plant voted in favor as well. The deal includes a 27% general wage increase over 4.5 years, with cost of living adjustments and more retirement contributions. Union members are still voting into the weekend. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The closing bell report brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow up by a point to 34,947. The NASDAQ increasing by 11 points today to 14,125. And the S&P 500 up by 5 points your Friday afternoon to 4,514. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong, profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
The traffic at 4:34. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, it is a crash. 2 different crashes in the same spot on I-65 in Pike Township. They are both at 86th Street, one going northbound, one going southbound. So crash northbound 65 at 86, blocking the right lane. Stop traffic all the way back to Lafayette Road, and southbound 65 crash, and the right lane is blocked, stopping traffic back to Whitestown Parkway. Inbound 69, stop and go 96 282nd, and eastbound 465 slammed Allisonville Road 269, keeping an eye on that. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% off on products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and no payments, no interest for 20 months. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way towards Friday evening, skies will start to clear out. Temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a sunny but cooler Saturday ahead of us. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Yeah. What up? This is Dr. Dre. The party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, we're going to talk to Chelsea Wetzel. She is the owner of Union Jack Pub in Broad Ripple. And we all know the problems that the Broad Ripple businesses there on Broad Ripple Avenue have been having for months on end with the construction. And she's lost 6 figures in income because of the ineptitude of Indy DPW. No response from mayor. I mean, she just the complete incompetence of the people that DPW contracted to fix. You know, she's lost a 6-figure salary, and they're basically like, "Well, look, you're going to have wider sidewalks." So
once we get this done in 5 years,
so. I mean, she's lost a bunch of revenue, and we're going to get down to the bottom of it. I want to see what the response has been, or the lack thereof, of the people in charge of this. That's coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock.
So the city of Murfreesboro in Tennessee, or as they say it down there, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, they passed this ordinance in June banning indecent behavior out in public, right? And now this goes beyond the normal police charges of indecent behavior, specifically in the ordinance, section 2172, indecent exposure, public indecency, lewd behavior, nudity, or sexual conduct.
They must have had to pass this because it's been a problem in the past, right?
Right. Now, if you're wondering what constitutes as sexual conduct, the code lays it out. Again, section 2172. From Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Sexual conduct means acts of masturbation, sexual intercourse, homosexuality, physical contact with a person, clothed or unclothed genitals, pubic area, buttocks, or if such person should be a female, their breasts. So they've laid out pretty much everything.
It must be a real problem in Murfreesboro, Tennessee there.
And do a little research and you'll find out that a lot of the youngsters that were going to the parks and stuff were seeing things that they shouldn't see. So basically, this city in Tennessee passes an ordinance that says, don't be naked or have sex in front of children. Don't be doing anything sexual in nature out in public where children can see it.
Or highway rest areas, like Something About Mary.
Correct. That's a great example.
Yeah, we were all peeing. Yeah. I'm sure you're all peeing.
Well, Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California, which last time I checked was not anywhere near the state of Tennessee, he shared the story of what this city in Tennessee is doing and says, quote, a city in Tennessee has banned being gay in public. This is just the beginning. We have to call this out.
Are you serious? He extrapolates the law they passed, this indecent exposure law, to, basically they're banning being gay?
Right. Because the code, again, 2172, specifically mentions sexual acts. And they mention sexual intercourse, assuming heterosexual, man, woman, and also homosexual. So everybody's covered here, right? It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, do not have sex in public, keep your pants on, don't do anything inappropriate in front of kids.
California's got enough problems of its own. Why does Gavin Newsom take time out of his day to tweet about a town in Tennessee?
Right.
What? He just embarrassed himself by cleaning up the streets of San Francisco in a day for a communist dictator named President Xi from China coming to town.
Right.
And now he's perpetuating some sort of anti-gay narrative for this place.
And basically, he comes off really homophobic there. Maybe I'm the only one that looks at this way, but does Gavin Newsom think that every single gay person has to have open sex in public in front of people all the time? Is that what Gavin Newsom thinks? That every gay person is going to naturally engage in lewd, indecent public sex at a park or somewhere outside? Is that what Gavin Newsom thinks?
They can't control themselves.
So
that's what he's implying, yes.
Tennessee says, look, you can't have sex in public. And Gavin Newsom's response is, oh, so you can't be gay now. Okay. That is such a far reaching take by a guy who, again, that's not even his state. There's enough things going on in California that you should be worried about instead of what an ordinance in Murfreesboro, Tennessee is doing.
And he's got he had an obsession there with Florida there for a little while. You're being corrected on Twitter, by the way. This Jennifer says it's Murfreesboro. Whatever.
Murfreesboro, or as my folks say growing up, Murfreesboro with a hard E. Allison, can I get a little mood music, please?
Thanksgiving is a special night.
Sandler was just here a couple nights ago.
Jimmy Walker.
I wonder if he played the Thanksgiving song.
Oh, he had to.
A couple of my buddies went and said it was a really fun show, the Adam Sandler concert. But as Thanksgiving gets closer and closer, this is where you're going to find one certain news network going out of their way to rip on the holiday. It happens every year. Just like every year, the Indy Star rips on the Indy 500 for whatever reason. MSNBC hates Thanksgiving. So between now and next Thursday, get ready for a bunch of this.
Thanksgiving has evolved in America, just like Christmas, right? At one point, Christmas was a time where rich people opened up their houses for people to come in and get stuff. Thanksgiving has changed over time as well. I know in my family, I know several people who call it colonizer Christmas because they don't really like the idea of what Thanksgiving represents.
We are just over a week away from one of the most
Joy
beloved
Reid.
American food holidays, Thanksgiving, where problematic actual history meets delicious cuisine. And many of you will soon be heading home to spend time with family and friends, eat a little too much, and perhaps engage in a dreaded, contentious political debate with your cranky Uncle Roscoe.
So MSNBC wants to remind you that if you celebrate Thanksgiving in any way, you are a racist and
a colonizer,
and you're part of the problem. It's Thanksgiving. It's a time to be happy for the blessings that you have. Family, friends. Maybe you've had a good year at work. I don't know. Remembering family members.
Being thankful.
Right. But instead, you're going to get a lecture from a bunch of these bottom feeders over at MSNBC. All right, kids. We're going to make some money. The Degenerate Special next.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presents. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 1,000 vehicles. Chevy, Ford, GMC, Buick, Nissan, Acura, Mazda, Honda, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com. For over 1,000 vehicles, visit any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Denny Smith here. The Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden Holiday Open House is this Saturday and Sunday. Both locations will have samples, door prizes, giveaways, and holiday decor. And while you're there, take advantage of their Holiday Open House sale. The Holiday Open House this Saturday and Sunday. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville, just south of Whiteland Road. MissM'sHomeandGarden.com.
Terry Stacy here. It's holiday time, and that means honey baked ham. Slow smoked for 24 hours, spiral sliced for easy serving, then fire glazed right in the store to create that sweet, crunchy glaze they're famous for. Honey Baked makes it easy to serve family and friends the best with holiday meal bundles that include turkey or ham, delicious sides, and decadent desserts. Taste the Honey Baked tradition with 2 Central Indiana locations, West 96th Street in Michigan Road and East Greyhound Pass in Carmel.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops. Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors. Ooh, I can already feel it. I told you. So, you ready? I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Heating and air conditioning can be the largest investment you make in your home. Here at Family, we pride ourselves in offering many flexible options.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
There's a lot of sexy content on the internet. And there's WIBC, full of faces meant for radio. Hammer and Nigel, Kendall and Casey. Okay, Casey could be on TV. Now streaming every day on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/WIBC.
Matt Bear, he has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer, looking at northbound 65 at 86th Street. All lanes have reopened. I'll say it again. All lanes have reopened just in the last minute. We are still stopped back to Lafayette Road, but that delay should start clearing out now. Southbound 65 after 86th Street, that's a different crash. It's blocking the right lane, stopping traffic well past Whitestown Parkway. So 65 in Pike Township going both directions stopped at the moment, but the northbound lane should improve. Inbound 69, what's up, Fishers? Looking like a stall stall after 82nd Street, blocking the left lane. That's causing stop-and-go traffic. 296 at eastbound 465 done at the moment. Full house not moving from Keystone over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, I'm Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. IU basketball winning last night, right? That's good. Good
3-0.
3-0, yeah. Good start to the season.
Better than taking a loss. They haven't looked super sharp just yet, but they've won all their games. Now, the schedule gets substantially harder this Sunday when they take on Connecticut.
National champions, right?
They take on UConn.
Oh, boy.
This Sunday.
That's in New York?
Yeah, kind of a neutral site, but it's a heck of a lot closer to Connecticut than it is to Indiana. And here's the situation that this show is in regards to IU. If Connecticut beats Indiana, and the line isn't out yet, but I would imagine Connecticut is a favorite to beat Indiana.
Heavy?
Probably around 10 points.
Okay.
That's my guess. If the Hoosiers lose, our show on Monday is going to be super short because then they'll be playing in the consolation game of this little tournament that they're in, which means we only will be on the air for 30 minutes.
All right. Well, we could go drinking afterwards on a Monday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, if the Hoosiers beat Connecticut and move on to the championship game of this little tournament, it's business as usual for us on Monday, and then the championship game will start at 7 o'clock. So Tony Kinnett has to worry about it if the Hoosiers win. But if they get beat Monday, we only have
short
a
show.
30-minute show. Colts have a bye this week, so you don't have to sweat or swear or, make plans around the Colts. They're off this week and host Tampa Bay next weekend. But if you still want to make some bets, I have you covered.
All right.
The article is live. It's posted now. My bets for the weekend, Scott Long's bets for the weekend, our pro handicapper that we work with, who's really good, David Stefanoff of followneverfade.com. He's like a college basketball savant. So if you're into college basketball, he's your guy. But he also does football. The article's posted, WIBC.com. I've put it on our Facebook. I've put it on our Twitter. I had a 3-1-1 weekend last weekend.
Nice, because prior to last weekend, it hadn't been going exactly the best for you, right?
2 weeks ago. In
terms of the Degenerate Special.
Yeah, we are on a 2-game win streak with the Degenerate Special.
All right. My bad.
So overall, I'm 27, 24, and 4 on the year. My best bet is 7-4, and with the Degenerate Special, we are now 5-4-2. So with that being said, Nige, cue up the band. Let's do this week's Degenerate Special.
It's time for Hammer's Degenerate Special.
And again, we call this the Degenerate Special because only degenerates like me are betting on games like this. But the money you win on this game spends the same.
Sure.
If you're watching Georgia or Tennessee or, Washington, Oregon State. We are talking about San Diego State and San Jose State. San Jose State is a 14.5-point home favorite, and they can clinch a bowl spot with a home win this weekend. Now, you know me. I've talked about this before. I love home teams that can clinch a bowl game while they're at home. And San Jose State falls into that category. Their ground game, it's one of the best in the country. And their quarterback, check out these numbers. Over 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. And since San Jose State's last loss, which took place on October 7th, they've scored 42 points, 35 points, 42, and 52 points. Now, on the other side, there's San Diego State.
Discovered by the Germans in 1904, they named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
The Fighting Whale Vaginas of San Diego State scoring just 20 points per game. That's 115th in the nation, Nige. Plus, their coach, Brady Hoke, former Ball State guy, just announced he's quitting at the end of the year.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
So their coach is quitting. It looks like his team has quit too. I was looking at the last 3 weeks of scores for San Diego State, and their offense has only put up 19, 24, and 0. Donald Trump, your thoughts on San Diego's chances at saving their season?
They're dead. They're dead. As far as I'm concerned, they're dead.
So one team can score, one team can't. One team is going up, one team is going down. We are going to lay the points. It's a big number, but I think we cover here. We're going to lay the points and take San Jose State minus 14.5 at home for bowl eligibility. That's your degenerate special. Ron Burgundy, your thoughts.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Coming up next, a very special guest, the owner of Union Jack Pub in Broad Ripple, totally getting screwed by the city because of all the construction. She's lost somewhere, I'm told, like 6 figures because of the incompetence of the construction.
Unbelievable.
And it was only supposed to last like 150 days. It's been like 530 or something like that. We'll get Chelsea, owner of Union Jack Pub in Indy, to tell us more about it. That's next on the Hammer and Nigel Show. My mom needed new windows in her kitchen. They were old and drafty and cracked, letting the cold air through. And she asked me, like, what do I think of Window Nation? I'm like, Mom, are you kidding me? They're the best. Window Nation. I'm a customer, first of all. Lots of my neighbors are customers, and they've got an incredible deal going on right now exclusively at Window Nation.
As the month gets closer and closer to ending, so does this amazing deal from Window Nation. So you need to call them ASAP. 0% interest for 5 years. 5 years. And that's on top of the existing deal where you buy 2 windows and you get 2 for free. And there's no limit. The more windows you buy, the more free ones you get, and no interest for 5 years. But you've got to call to lock the deal in. At least start the conversation. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com, but you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Underride wrecks can be deadly. An underride wreck occurs when a car crashes into the side or rear of a big truck and slides underneath the empty space of the tractor trailer. If you or a loved one was injured or killed in an underride wreck or any kind of big truck wreck, every second counts.
I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs. Isaacs & Isaacs is ready to get your loved one the justice they deserve.
Attorney Daryl Isaacs is Indiana's big truck lawyer.
Just click to get help quick at WeWin.com.
The best values of the year are this weekend at Diamonds Direct. Save an extra 20% store-wide. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, designer jewelry. It's our biggest and final store-wide sale of 2023, and we're holding nothing back. Shop early for Christmas and get the year's best value prices. Thousands of engagement rings on sale, too. Plus special financing. This is the big one, with in-store designer appearances all weekend, including Sunday. Get all the details now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Rhino Shield's 25% off special has been extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having your job done by spring of 24.
Rhino Shield. Want to look your best? Then go to the best. Go where I go. 459 Barber Lounge. Across from the Fashion Mall on 86th Street. 459online.com. Tell them Tony Cat sent you.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts meet you at one convenient appointment. We let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to thinkwallet.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $25,000 in minutes. No need to search through endless loan sites or filling out tons of forms. Thinkwallet.com is one of the largest personal loan marketplaces with over 100 lenders for all credit types. Whether you have good credit or it needs work, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need fast. Just fill out the quick form and get approved for up to $25,000 in minutes. There's no paperwork to submit. You can do it right from your phone. Best part? The money can be in your bank account as soon as the next day. Whether you need money for bills, an emergency, or whatever reason, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need regardless of your credit history. When you need extra cash, go to thinkwallet.com. That's thinkwallet.com. Thinkwallet.com.
Tiffany absolutely hated her job.
I was living paycheck to paycheck on a dead-end job that I did not like.
She'd been considering a change with My Computer Career.
I was able to qualify for financial aid.
Just 2 nights a week in a classroom and studying from anywhere online opened up a whole new world to her.
I get job offers all the time. IT is practically recession-proof.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I highly recommend My Computer Career.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It's Black Friday at B Window. Up to 52% off, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates on all products for a limited time only. Go to bwindow.com today.
When you gather together this year, let Bob Evans give you more time to celebrate with a premium farmhouse feast. Just heat, serve, and enjoy. Order yours now at bobevans.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a teenager was shot and killed in Indianapolis last night. A cardboard fire at a recycling facility not far from the zoo Thursday. And IU men's basketball picked up another win on the season last night. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio. From the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. Temperatures in the 50s downtown. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A tug of war for public opinion. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Another round of protests in support of Palestinians underway in New York City.
We have students on our campuses calling us terrorists when they are in fact the terrorists.
They accuse Israel of genocide in Gaza and Jewish students of supporting it. Israel says it's fighting Hamas and trying to minimize civilian casualties. Prosecutors in Georgia propose August 5th next year as the start of an election interference case against multiple defendants, including former President Trump. His lawyers opposing the date in a court filing. Trump holds a rally tomorrow in Iowa where several other GOP candidates attend a forum today, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who's gaining support from faith leaders after Senator Tim Scott suspended his campaign.
We just got endorsed by another, I think, 51 or 52 faith leaders in Iowa. So we have over 100 faith leaders that are on board, and obviously that's instrumental in terms of bringing people out to the caucus.
The Iowa caucuses kick off primary season about 2 months from now. The same jury that convicted Caitlin Armstrong of murder yesterday for killing a fellow pro cyclist in Texas has just sentenced her to 90 years in prison. Prosecutors say Armstrong shot Anna Mo Wilson in a jealous rage last year. She was arrested after an international manhunt that lasted for more than a month. Dog owners are being warned about a mystery respiratory illness that can turn deadly, but can be mistaken at first for a case of kennel cough. Other symptoms can include loss of appetite, lethargy, low fever, lasting for weeks and potentially leading to pneumonia.
The American Veterinary Medical Association says the disease began circulating in Oregon a few months ago. Cases have since been reported in other states. Because the illness is highly contagious, some vets are concerned that it could spread more quickly among dogs that are boarded during the upcoming holidays.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
2 days in a row. 51 degrees, cloudy downtown. All clear with your radar. Low temps to the lower 30s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. For the second straight night, a teenager was shot and killed late Thursday in Indianapolis. It was around 7 when police officers in the area of 32nd and North Emerson heard gunshots. Immediately after,
we got a report of a person shot
They arrived on the scene almost immediately. Sadly, we found one teenager deceased, another teenager. They traveled apparently a short distance and was found shot.
That teenager, a 14-year-old girl, was dead, say police. They also found a second teenager wounded not far from where the shooting happened. They were in the hospital in critical condition. Indianapolis firefighters responded to the waste management facility just outside the Indy Zoo Thursday. A 25-foot tall stack of cardboard was burning outside the building, and waste management employees had to help out.
We needed their expertise and skills working with an excavator to move those piles and break apart that pile so that we could get underneath it there and make sure we extinguish everything.
Rita Wright, Battalion Chief with IFD. The fire was under control in about 30 minutes. You'll notice a change in the weather heading into Thanksgiving. Ryan Hedrick reports.
It's going to be a little cooler than it has been this weekend. On average, we're still above normal for this time of year.
I mean, we've been above normal the last several days, so we're really just cooling back to kind of near normal levels over the weekend.
Mike Ryan of the National Weather Service says by next week a system comes in and it will bring well below average temperatures. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
IU men's basketball beat Wright State last night for their third win in as many games this season. Head coach Mike Woodson says they have yet to play their best ball.
I'm curious to see what you guys would really be saying had we lost the games. We haven't put a perfect game together. Game before this game, we made our free throws. We didn't make them tonight.
The Hoosiers played the defending national champions UConn this Sunday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Real estate research reports housing prices are still slowly rising, and inventory is still below historical averages. Now is a great time to get a big payday from your equity growth. Hire the agent who is an expert on maximizing your home price fast, Mark Dietl. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades to sell your home. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Jim and Emily in Shelbyville had to say about Mark Dietl. We were ready for more space and an upgrade for our family. We heard about Mark and we were impressed by his aggressive marketing plan. Impressive is right. Home sold in 2 days for cash at asking price. Mark also found our new bigger, better home and arranged so we could stay in our old home until move-in day. Call for all the details. Call the agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05, here's Matt Baer.
Harrison looking at eastbound S70 coming into downtown. Good Lord. Crash at Harding Street, blocking the left lane. Looks like a couple of cars touched the barrier wall here. That's causing a delay. Back past Belmont, almost to Tibbs Avenue. And then inbound 65, stop and go to downtown from MLK to Meridian Penn. Pike Township, southbound 65 after 86th Street. That's blocking the right lane, causing stop traffic all the way back past Whitestown Parkway, not quite to 267. Northbound 65 still jammed up from a separate crash from Lafayette Road up to West 79th. The crash is now out of the interstate, so we're moving a little bit better here. Traffic sponsored by Arizona State University. With ASU Online, you get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way towards Friday evening, skies will start to clear out. Temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a sunny but cooler Saturday ahead of us. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Okay, Union Jack Pub in Broad Ripple. Been there forever, more than 43 years, Hammer. It's a family-friendly soccer bar, delicious pizza, craft brews. They just actually switched locations. They were in one location forever. Now they're in a different part of Broad Ripple. Chelsea Wetzel is the owner. And by the way, Chelsea, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I just wanted to warn you before we get into what we're talking about. Hammer and I are the kind of guys that sometimes add S's to words, like the Krogers. or the Myers,
St. Elmo's.
So if you hear us call it Union Jack's Pub, just pay no attention to us. Just forget about that. Okay,
it's the inner hillbilly coming out of the Liston and Beech Grove kids here.
Well, hey, look, Chelsea, I saw a tweet from your account at Union Jack Pub that really took me back a bit. I know there's been a lot of construction going on in Broad Ripple. To say that is an understatement. And just let me read what you wrote here. You tagged Mayor Hogsett and Indy DPW on this. Dear Mayor Hogsett and Indy DPW, we have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and have lost more than 6 figures on the construction delays on Broad Ripple Avenue. And today, you can't access our business. We cannot get emails or calls returned, and we have bills to pay. SOS. We need help. Please advise. Please help. That was on November 15th at 10:48 a.m. Have you heard back from anybody? What exactly is the situation going on right now with Union Jack Pub and other businesses in the area?
Yeah. Sure. So I will say we have not heard back from that tweet, and I have equally sent emails to Mayor's Chief of Staff and the head of DPW on this and staff members in that department, and also have not heard back regarding this. I think for us, I'll take you back to, 2021 when we were told we were going to have a 135-day project on Broad Ripple Avenue, and we made the decision to, as you alluded to earlier, we purchased a building across the street from our original location. We thought, it was a good business move to own our property. We wanted to invest in the village, and we were aware of this project, but we were aware of a contracted 135-day timeline, so we chose to purchase the building. Fast forward to when the project is starting, we're still told kind of 135 days in April of 2022. And we're sitting in November of 2023 at 580 some days, and they're still working. And I think for us, we knew we were going to lose some money during construction. That's the way that goes, right? The government has an obligation to fix some infrastructure, and there's some improvements being made, and we're okay with that. But there came a line where their lives made us make business decisions that have negatively financially impacted us, and then their delays and poor communication or false information shared with us has been wildly catastrophic to levels that we weren't prepared for and should have had the opportunity to kind of ward off with decisions that we made.
Chelsea, Jason Hammer here. Nigel and I were talking about this on the air the other day and how ridiculous this is. And a lot of the feedback we got from our listeners was asking, why can't you sue the city? Is there any sort of legal ramification that you can do to make this right?
Yeah, I love that question, and we have talked to a couple of attorneys through this process. So if anyone listening knows something that I don't know or has any opportunity, please contact me. What we've sort of learned is that because the contracts are between the city and the contractor, we don't actually have a stake in the contract and have no sort of right to sue, which is that's what we're understanding. We've talked to we've had a couple on retainer, and just no one's really willing to pursue it. I also am not made of money and can't, pay an attorney to pursue it. But yeah, if somebody else listening has anything I don't know, I'd love to know about it.
There's got to be something, because it sounds like pure incompetence from the mayor to Indy DPW to, all the way down to possibly the Broad Ripple Village Association. Have you heard from the Village Association? What do they say?
That is, we don't get much help on that. We don't get much help on that front from the association. I don't disagree that it feels like just a poorly planned project on our end. And I had sent a message in the middle of this project, and I said, if we aren't getting compensation from you all, what we were owed was risk mitigation by way of a well-planned and executed project. And we have received exactly the opposite of that. And if they knew that this was going to take so many days, we needed to be told that information. And just the lack of communication and the poor communication has been really the downfall of this entire thing. And then I think further, it's the DPW rhetoric to us that essentially we should be so thankful that they have made this investment in our village that, basically, how dare we complain about what we've lost, because somehow magically when this opens, we're going to make up what we've lost. This is going to be a boom to businesses.
Unbelievable.
I would love to share with them how a restaurant sale works. A lost sale is a lost sale. I'm not going to make $500,000 more money next year because my sidewalks are wider. That's not the way this works. That's not the way this is going to go. And I am screaming for the opportunity to sit in the room with the decision makers and the people who have the power to help me and to make the changes, and they just won't respond. And that's what we want.
It sounds, I keep on using the word incompetent. It sounds like gross negligence almost on the part of Indy DPW and their contractors. I mean, you have lost six figures because of this construction, and for you to put yourself out there like this on this platform means that things must be desperate for you right now, Chelsea.
Yeah, this is so far outside my comfort zone. I can't even explain it to you. I've lived with so much anxiety the last 48 hours because I've never had this much attention in my life. But I'm speaking for me, certainly, but I'm speaking for my neighbors who are really good people, really hardworking business owners whose life savings are wrapped up in their buildings, wrapped up in their businesses, have made investments and decisions, and are taking home equity lines out on their homes to pay their rent. And we're begging for help and some sort of empathy and some sort of understanding of the emails that we got in November that said it's in the spring, it'll be 70 days, it's going to be done in June, and here, all the number of times that they have lied to us and things have gone sideways, and just some sort of accountability for the mistakes that have been made. And yes, like I said, I'm putting myself out there because I am not alone. And I think we all learned when we were in kindergarten, when you hurt someone, you say you're sorry. And there's just this idea that nobody's really done anything wrong here and no one's responsible for this, that we would really like to see remedied here.
And Chelsea, take me through what the last couple of years have been like as a business owner. Everything from surviving COVID, and then, the mayor's office gets a little squirrely with the folks in Broad Ripple, and some businesses are forced to shut down a little bit earlier than they wanted to. And now this situation. What's this been like for you and your family?
I keep saying I don't remember what it's like to run a normal business. We have had, I think we have had 8 months since March of 2020 where we have operated without a strong government interference, from shutdowns to construction to crime issues to there has been interference since March of 2020, and we just want to get back to raising our family and running our business instead of chasing all these ordinances, all these rules, all of these things around. We just want to get back to doing what it is that we love and what we're actually good at. I've learned more about local government than I ever cared to. That's not my expertise. That's not, I want to get back to making pizzas for people.
When are we close to having regular access yet there to Union Jack in Broad Ripple and other places?
We really are. I think as early as this weekend and next week, the tail end is here of the major disruption.
But that doesn't make up for the gross negligence of the Hogshead administration, Indy DPW, and did you ever reach out to the town council at all?
Yes, and I will tell you that we have a very good relationship with John Barth, who has been wonderful and responsive through all of this. So I am going to sing his praises all day long. He responds to every email. He takes every meeting. He is excellent. We love John, so I cannot put any of this on him. He has tried.
Well, Chelsea, I know you said earlier that you shouldn't have to go through this. You're not alone. There are so many people that you don't know that are supporting what you're doing right now. They love your business. Listeners of ours have been, sending us tweets and Facebook messages and live streaming, talking about how this is a bunch of crap, what's happening here. So you are totally not alone in this.
I appreciate hearing that. Yeah, it's been a long road. We're tired, and we're looking forward to hopefully some light at the end of this tunnel and some responses from the city.
Well, we encourage everybody to go check out Union Jack Pub in Broad Ripple. The new location looks beautiful, by the way, Chelsea, and all the other businesses. I mean, I understand there are some businesses that have just flat out left Broad Ripple because of all the chaos. You have stuck it out. You're fighting the good fight, and I hope there is some legal recourse for the negligence and incompetence from the Hogshead administration and Indy DPW. We wish you the best, Chelsea. Find them on Twitter at Union Jack Pub. Union Jack Pub in Indianapolis. That's the owner, Chelsea Wetzel. Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer looking at the west side. Crash eastbound at 70 after Harding Street, blocking 2 left lanes, stopping traffic back to Hull Road. That puts our delay time at 47 minutes. Inbound 65, stop and go. MLK to Meridian Patton. Pike Township, I-65 and 86th Street, both directions have cleared. Now we are still having a lot of traffic going southbound right now. That's stop and go after 267 down to 86 and pockets of slow coming up northbound from Lafayette Road up to 71st. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special with live 24/7 customer service. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to thinkwallet.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $25,000 in minutes. No need to search through endless loan sites or filling out tons of forms. Thinkwallet.com is one of the largest personal loan marketplaces with over 100 lenders for all credit types. Whether you have good credit or it needs work, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need fast. Just fill out the quick form and get approved for up to $25,000 in minutes. There's no paperwork to submit. You can do it right from your phone. Best part? The money can be in your bank account as soon as the next day. Whether you need money for bills, an emergency, or whatever reason, thinkwallet.com can help you get the money you need regardless of your credit history. When you need extra cash, go to thinkwallet.com. That's thinkwallet.com. Thinkwallet.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus. Our Black Friday blowout sale is here. Lazy Boy sofas start at $899. Lazy Boy recliners starting at $485. Save up to $1,500 on Smith Brothers sectionals and up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Low price, guarantee, free delivery, interest-free financing. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture Mattress in Columbus.
Have you thought about buying a hot tub? Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We've worked hard to build back inventory these last 2 years, and our showrooms are packed. We've got new models, scratch and dents, and even several demos ready for delivery. No more waiting months. Our hot tubs can be yours today. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Royal Spa.
CareSource Marketplace health plans are reliable and predictable. That's important because your life plans are not. CareSource gives you the affordable coverage and premium network to take on whatever comes your way. Emergency services, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Our plans are simple and affordable because when your life is complicated, it's important that your health insurance is not. For affordable coverage when you need it most, visit caresource.com/marketplace. We got you.
Don't wait until Gold Friday. Get revved up now.
Now Halliburton will go to work, center of the floor. Set, shot, three, and he does it again.
The Pacers pre-Gold Friday sale has tipped off.
Brown for another three. Bruce Brown has made 6.
About the speed of this team. Pre-Gold Friday deals presented by Key Bank are underway with tickets as low as $5 when the Pacers meet the Raptors Wednesday at 7. Get your tickets at pacers.com/Gold Friday.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer in Indianapolis.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, man, I heard you and Rob talking about this earlier. The NFL probing the Cincinnati Bengals injury reporting. Joe Burrow's injury last night, a deleted Twitter video is involved. So Joe Burrow, the quarterback, was not listed on the team's injury report, right? Going into the game against the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
They posted a video on X, which appears to show him having some sort of soft cast or brace on his right hand, but they later deleted the post. Burrow left the game with an injury to the wrist. Are you okay with this?
No. I am not okay with this because there were gambling ramifications last night. So Joe Burrow, the star quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, he'd been battling injuries all throughout the year, mainly a calf injury, but nothing about a wrist. Nobody really knew anything about a wrist. And then he gets knocked out of the game yesterday with a wrist injury. But there's this video that they showed on the broadcast last night, and I guess they pulled it from the Bengals Twitter feed. When they arrived in Baltimore for the game, Burrow gets off the plane, and he's got some sort of wrist brace on.
Yeah, they knew about it.
He was not on the injury report. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, but the NFL takes this kind of crap seriously. As a matter of fact, they had this big come to Jesus meeting with all the teams at the beginning of the year to talk about the injury report. So now there's a lot of people, Dave Portnoy, myself, other blue checks on Twitter, that feel like the sports books owe us our money back if you bet on the Bengals or if you bet any Joe Burrow props.
So this doesn't have anything to do with, like, you know, playing through an injury, right? This has to do with reporting the injury that the Bengals supposedly knew about. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with playing hurt.
No, not at all. But I and Rob would not have bet on Joe Burrow prop bets last night had we known the quarterback can't squeeze a football, because that's a pretty big deal. And he was on the sideline trying to throw the ball, and he couldn't do it. So, yeah, that's a problem. And if that were on the injury report, I may have made other bets last night. The gambling community, they are ticked off.
Allison, give me some mood music over there.
Oh, I like this.
There it is.
Here we go.
Just a good old boy.
Appearing at a Comic-Con in Tennessee, the cast of Dukes of Hazzard say that a reboot is not out of the question. Daisy Duke said, quote, "We have all talked about it and anything is possible." Are you okay, Hammer, with a reboot of Dukes of Hazzard?
It breaks my heart to say this. But no, I'm not okay with this. Because there's no way it could be as good as the first go-round. First of all, Boss Hogg is dead. Roscoe is dead. Like, they're a big part of the show.
Uncle Jesse probably is no longer with us, right? Was that his name? The guy with the overalls?
Yeah, Uncle Jesse. I don't know if he's with us or not, but damn it, he was old on Dukes of Hazzard, so I don't know. But, man, the last thing I think I want to see is an old bloated Daisy running around in short shorts on. In my mind, I want her to be serving drinks and dinner at the Boar's Nest, looking like the way she did back in the day. And I'm sure the ladies probably feel the same way about Bo and Luke Duke. Now, they're still in decent shape, but they're not the, hunks they were back in the day. And if you're going to tell me it's a new generation of Duke boys, well, I've seen that horrible show. Remember when they tried to bring in new Duke boys, Coy and Vance?
Oh, yeah.
What a kick to the crotch that was. So, unfortunately, as much as I love and grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard, no, I'm not okay with a reboot.
Dolly Parton's new album, Rockstar, dropped overnight. I'm going to play you a montage of some of the classic rock rock songs she does, okay? She's singing with Sting, Peter Frampton, Pink.
A lot of duets here.
Brandy Carlisle, Pat Benatar is some of you'll hear.
Every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, baby, I love your way. Every day. Every day. I can't get no satisfaction. But I try, and I try, and I try, and I try.
Come on!
You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker. Don't you mess around? No, no, no.
Not bad. Here, wait, one more here. One more. I'll give you one more.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
By the way, she does Stairway to Heaven. You didn't hear it on that clip, but her duet is with Lizzo. For the Stairway to Heaven remake from Led Zeppelin. Are you okay with Dolly Parton with the montage you heard? Also, Ann Wilson of Heart's on there. Linda Perry, Four Non Blondes, Miley Cyrus, Paul McCartney, and Ringo Starr. Are you okay with the rock album from Dolly
I'm
Parton?
okay, but you lost me with Lizzo doing Stairway to Heaven. What the hell's that? Listen, it feels like we've been talking about this duets rock star album for a long time. And it's kind of just a fun thing for Dolly Parton, right? Songs that she likes, doing it with artists that she respects or, has been told to work with. I don't know. It seems like a cool thing. Now, Dolly Parton's going to be at the Tennessee Vols football game this Saturday.
That's right.
She's going to be down in Rocky Top rooting on the Tennessee Volunteers as they take on Georgia, team that hasn't lost a game in well over 2 years. And I'm telling you, I've got a bet on this game. So if you go to the betting article that we talked about earlier, I've got a play on this game. All I'm saying is with 101,000 people all wearing orange, singing Rocky Top, and those big country cans of Dolly Parton up there jumping up and down, it's hard to go against the Tennessee Volunteers this weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay, coming up next.
She has large boobs.
You think? Really?
Wow.
Yeah, of course. We always talk about that. That's the first boob jokes we've ever made in our adolescence had to do with Dolly Parton. So we go from boob jokes to Israel. Joel Pollack from Breitbart, senior editor at large there.
I don't think he's ever gotten that transition before.
He is. We're going to go to him live in Israel, the latest on the war with Israel and Hamas in Gaza. What kind of progress have the military been making? What is the mood? What is the emotional output like in Israel? That is next, right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There's a chance. 51 degrees, cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar low of freezing tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 529. Snow may be on the ground by the time you get to your Thanksgiving feast next week.
And it still remains to be seen if enough cold air can get in Tuesday night before all the moisture departs. And if that does happen, we may actually see some snow showers on Tuesday night.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service says it's going to be cold next week. IMPD says there's been an officer involved shooting at the northeast side this evening near 38th Street and Richard Avenue. No officers were hurt. More information to be released later. A fire not far from the zoo. Sam Fritz reports.
IFD responded to a fire at a waste management recycling facility on Thursday. Firefighters had to lay their hose across train tracks to connect to the water source, meaning that CSX trains needed to wait.
When we're laying a hose line across those tracks, we don't want a train to come through and, damage our hose line, thereby causing an issue for the firefighters in there fighting the fire.
Rita Wright, battalion chief with the IFD. According to the press release, Waste Management believes there may have been something inside one of the delivered piles of cardboard that caused the fire, but they do not know what that is as of yet. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The suspect in a shooting at a New Hampshire State Hospital in Concord is dead. That's according to Homeland Security. The number of victims and their condition is not yet known. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is campaigning in Iowa and continuing to support Israel, but he wants less U.S. interference in the Israel-Hamas war.
They don't need our troops or anything like that.
They just need to be able to do what they need to do to defend themselves. And I think Biden, he'll say they're for, then he'll say ceasefire or pause or all this.
DeSantis has recently called for an investigation into the activities and funding of Florida-based chapters of student activist group Students for Justice in Palestine. Thanksgiving is always a busy time of year for your local nonprofit.
In Indianapolis, it's the Moselle Sanders Foundation looking for help. I'm Donnie Burgess. The foundation helps prep thousands of hot meals for people in need every Thanksgiving holiday, but sometimes extra help in the kitchen is hard to come by. You can check out volunteer times and dates at mosellesanders.org. Third shift is where they need the most help. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 532, out of the roads, Matt Bear.
Harrison, I'm looking at eastbound 70 coming into downtown. Yeah, this crash after Harding Street blocking 2 left lanes, leaving only the right lane available. Traffic is stopped. Back to Holt Road. Inbound 69, there's a stall at 465 Benford, and that's blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 96th Street. Inbound 65, it jams up from the White River down to Meridian Penn. And on the south side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Don't miss the annual B Window Black Friday sale. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and no payments, no interest for 20 months. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
As we make our way towards Friday evening, skies will start to clear out. Temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour with a sunny but cooler Saturday ahead of us. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis, 493 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. A war still raging. Israel and Hamas in Gaza. Seems like Israeli military making some headway. We're go to Israel live right now. Joel Pollack is Breitbart News senior editor at large. Joel, the last time I talked to you was a couple of weeks ago. You had just gotten back from covering the war with Israel and Hamas. Why did you decide to go back, and where are you right now?
I'm in Jerusalem right now, but I've been going all around the country from north to south. I've been to the far northern border with Lebanon, and I went to the southernmost point of Israel. And Israel is being attacked on all of those frontiers, north, south, east, and west. In the west, you've got Gaza, obviously the war against Hamas. In the north, you've got Lebanon. It's not a full-on war with Lebanon, but they're shooting anti-tank missiles into Israel, a few every day, and Israel responds with artillery shells. In the south, you've got missiles coming in about one every other day or so from the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. And then in the in the east, coming from the West Bank, otherwise known as Judea and Samaria, you've got terrorists who are trying to stage attacks in Israel's major cities in support of Hamas over on the west side in Gaza. So, in fact, this week there was a terrorist attack that erupted at a checkpoint south of Jerusalem. The reason it happened there was that the police stopped a car that was trying to get into Jerusalem. They searched the car, and as they were searching the car, and they were about to discover all the weapons and ammunition, the 3 terrorists inside the car just opened fire. They realized they weren't going to get through this checkpoint, so they attacked the checkpoint itself, but they would have done a lot more damage had the checkpoint not been there. So there's a war on 4 borders. Now, the most active part of that war is in Gaza, and there Israel is really cleaning up. They are taking out Hamas infrastructure, taking over Hamas bases, uncovering intelligence, digging up all kinds of information. They have unfortunately recovered some sad news. There was a woman who was missing. Her body was discovered near the Shifa hospital where the Israeli military has been operating very carefully. They know that Hamas is there, that they have weapons there and other things there. Obviously, they can't go into a hospital, guns blazing. They did ask Hamas to surrender. Obviously, Hamas not surrendering, so Israel's going in there. But going very, very carefully, wing by wing, day by day. They're not in a rush. Time's on their side. And it's Hamas that's running out of supplies, running out of fuel, running out of ammunition. So the Israelis are doing a pretty good job. It's just a question of whether there's going to be another front in this war. And when I was up north, I saw a massive amount of military equipment up there I got pretty close to the border, and there were tank crews, there were soldiers in dugouts, and, of course, drones overhead pretty much constantly. Those drones are spying on Hezbollah positions in Lebanon, and some of them are armed to respond to any fire from Lebanon. So it's a very, very tense situation here, but in Israel, life is returning to normal. Kids are starting to go back to school again and so forth, because one of the interesting side effects of this war is that with the Israeli military in Gaza, there are fewer rocket attacks. And that's one of the reasons Prime Minister Netanyahu is saying we're not going to give Gaza back to the Palestinian Authority when this war is over. When we get rid of Hamas, we're going to have to maintain a military presence there because that's the only thing that guarantees Israeli security. I mean, there are kids who can sleep at night in some of these towns who couldn't before because Hamas can't operate as freely as it once did when the Israeli military is right there and they're going to catch anybody who comes out. There still are a few rockets being fired every day, but it's not like it was. You know, it's much, much, much less. And so the Israelis are saying this proves why we need to be there. Anyway, whatever the post-war situation looks like, it's important to get through the war first. And there's a long way to go still because Israel's operating in the northern part of Gaza. They've now said openly they're going to go into the southern part of Gaza at some point. And they're doing a good job. I mean, they're avoiding civilian casualties where they can, and they are being very careful. They're getting a lot of terrorists. I mean, the casualty ratio is astronomically high in Israel's favor. And, you know, the Israeli public is 100% behind this. Now, there's a question of what happens to the hostages. I was in a traffic jam today because there's a march going on, a 5-day march of the family. They're marching from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to get action on the hostages. And you know, they know that their government can only do so much, but they want their government to do as much as it can, including maybe cutting a deal. The government says it's trying to get a deal, but it's not going to let up on the military pressure. So that's the mood in Israel. Very patriotic, everybody volunteering, everybody helping out. I went to a soup kitchen today that has twice the number of people showing up for meals because people can't go to work. They don't have money. It's like COVID, but without all the, you know, all the trillions of dollars that we can spend in the United States. It's, you know, what would happen if people couldn't go to work and kids are at home? The schools aren't open in some of these areas. So a lot of volunteers. Some kids spent the day in bomb shelters, which some local adults have converted into playgrounds or kind of indoor clubhouses for kids to do activities when they can't go to school. So everybody's pitching in. It's a wartime atmosphere, and everybody is very patient with one another. You don't see a lot of road rage. People are very polite at intersections. And
hey, Joel, let me jump in here real quick. Jason Hammer here. You said something earlier that really caught my attention. Hamas starting to run out of weapons. I think that's an important thing to bring up here because when you see so many people calling for a ceasefire, including high-profile American politicians, I think this is important as to why it should not happen. If the bad guys are starting to run out of ammo, why would anybody want them to have a chance to get their act together again?
The only reason to have a ceasefire is to have peace. But if you want peace, a ceasefire is the wrong way to get it. Because Hamas broke the ceasefire when it started this war. There was a ceasefire in place. And the only way there are going to be more Arab states that come forward and make peace with Israel is if they feel like Israel has defeated Hamas. So if you want peace, you have to want Israel to win. Aside from that, Hamas says openly that it wants to carry out more terror attacks. President Biden talked about that this week. He actually quoted the Hamas official who said that they were going to repeat October 7th as many times as it took to destroy Israel. So you can't really have a ceasefire with that. And, you know, even Bernie Sanders wants a pause in the fighting, you know, because he's a left-wing socialist who doesn't really live in the real world, but he has enough of a grip on reality to recognize, as he said a couple weeks ago, you can't really have a ceasefire with a terrorist organization like Hamas. They exist to cause violence. So you have to defeat them, you have to disarm them, and only then can you stop the war. But basically, this war has to stop at victory and nothing less.
Joe Pollack, Breitbart senior editor at large, calling in live from Israel in Jerusalem. Expand on Hamas for a second. Like what were Hamas's expectations versus what is actually happening? I think I saw I don't know, maybe it was a blurb in the Times or something about how Hamas thought there was going to be this giant, Arab uprising in other countries, and even a Palestinian uprising against Israel. It seems like in that area, some of the leaders in other countries seem just fine with letting Israel destroy Hamas.
There was a bit of a riot in the streets of many Arab capitals, especially after the fake news was reported that Israel attacked a hospital, which of course it didn't do. But yeah, Hamas is not getting a lot of support. None of the countries that signed the Abraham Accords has dropped out of the Abraham Accords. And even Iran, which funds and arms Hamas, is looking at the situation and thinking, you know what, maybe we just hold our fire on this one, because Iran's long-term goal is to become a nuclear power. And they're not sure about getting into this fight in a big way that might cause Israel and the United States to say, all right, we got to take this regime out. We got to take out their nuclear facilities. So I'm sure if you're a Hamas terrorist who was hoping that all these people would defend you, it must be very frustrating that they're going to just let you be destroyed piece by piece by the Israelis. But they deserve it. They attacked innocent civilians. I was at a military base where they showed us some of the weapons that they seized from Hamas terrorists, either after they were killed or when they were arrested. Hamas had anti-tank weapons, a lot of them. But there weren't really many tanks in the area they attacked. They were using the anti-tank weapons against civilians. They put anti-tank explosives that attached to those large Israeli Merkava tanks with magnets. They attached them to the civilian vehicles at the music festival, and they exploded those vehicles using anti-tank munitions. I mean, it's so cruel and absurd, but that's what they did. And they're not getting sympathy from the rest of the world, aside from, American college campuses and people in Western capitals and that sort of thing, because somehow they don't seem able to dissociate themselves from Hamas. But they're not getting the support that they wanted. Hezbollah fires a few anti-tank missiles across the border, and, again, that border could flare up into a full-blown war. But for now, it looks like if things continue as they are, Israel is going to destroy Hamas. It'll probably spend about, I guess, several months, maybe even a year, completely mopping things up, getting rid of the tunnels and so forth. It's going to take a while to do, but they're going to do it. They're doing it very steadily. And there aren't going to be Arab countries coming to invade Israel. Now, that doesn't mean Israel can't, that doesn't mean it can sort of sit on its, rest on its laurels. And, who would have thought that Yemen would enter this war? Yemen is so far away from Israel. These missiles that they're firing are traveling like 1,000 miles or something to get to Israel. They're being shot down over the Red Sea by Israeli missile boats, and in some cases by American missile boats and Saudis. But this is a risk now that Israel has to be on guard about. But look, I think if things go as they will, without a ceasefire, Israel is going to defeat Hamas and hopefully get as many hostages back as they can.
And did you write? And one more thing before we let you go. I mean, are you seeing support for Israel? I mean, we saw, pro-Hamas demonstrations try to break into Congress this week, but also that March for Israel, according to your headline, broke records there on the Mall in Washington, D.C.
It was the largest pro-Israel demonstration outside of Israel itself in history.
Wow.
I was going to write that it was the largest pro-Israel demonstration in history, but then, of course, there have been larger demonstrations in Israel. But it was very, very large. There were two other events that were similar in scale. In 2002, there was a march in Washington, a pro-Israel march during the Second Intifada. And then in 1987, the Jewish community had a big march on behalf of Soviet Jews who were not allowed to leave the Soviet Union. And those were big marches, but they didn't get close to 300,000 people. That was a big, big march.
Well, Joel, thank you for taking the time to call us live from Jerusalem. Breitbart Senior Editor-at-Large Joel Pollack. Stay safe, my friend, and we'll keep us updated. We'll talk to you in a few weeks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Ready for a beer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Beer Sample Friday next.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game copy console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Get ready, Indiana. It's Medicare annual enrollment period. So why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for Indiana, trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream. Get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, including advanced Wi-Fi, and one unlimited mobile line free for 12 months. And when you add Spectrum TV, get a Zumo Stream Box free for 12 months. Spectrum One Stream. It's streaming simplified. Visit Spectrum.com for details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile, all on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on RootMetrics US report. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Are these uncertain times making you nervous? Give Family Heating and Air a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Satch Vai, Joe Satriani, and Steve Vai U.S. Tour Sunday, April 21st at Old National Center.
Matt Baer, he has a look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer west side going to downtown. It's a crash eastbound 70 after Belmont, and this is blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic back to Holt Road. It is a 16-minute delay. Also inbound 69 stall cleared at 465, still stop and go back to 106th Street. It's a police investigation, a shooting investigation on the east side near 38th Street and Richard Avenue. Harrison Silcox with more coming up at 6:02 from the WIBC newsroom. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for our instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Right now,
Hammer and Nigel present
beer sample.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beer's on sale, people. Come down, get you some.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress. Down in Columbus, free delivery within 75 miles.
How awesome is that?
That's incredible, especially when some of these giant retailers are charging you like $100, $200 for delivery for a mattress or a recliner. Free.
They bring it to you,
Yeah.
and they bring all the old crap back.
Yep.
You sit back and have a beer.
Oh, speaking of having a beer, what do we have here?
We've got a little
let me see here.
something for beer sample Friday.
Harvest Storm IPA. Oh, this is Two Toms Brewing up in Fort Wayne. I think they have a tap room in Fishers as well. I'm impressed because you aren't typically an IPA guy. Right?
But the title of this beer sounds like an adult film. And that's why.
Harvest Storm?
Right. Like in my mind, like the plowboy comes and finds the farmer's daughter. I've noticed your melons are wet. Well, there was a harvest storm. There's about to be another one.
Or the name of an actress in the adult film industry.
Right.
Trust me, I know you don't like IPAs. I've had this before. They do their hops a little differently. So, like, the moment they get the hops, within 12 hours, they put them in, they're brewed. Usually, the way they do IPAs is they dry them out, and they don't use them for, a while. This is directly from wherever they get the hops, right into the brewer. So you might, it makes it taste a little bit different here.
Let's give it a try. Yes, sir. That is good.
I got you convinced?
That's a good one right there.
That was from Two Toms Brewing. Thank you so much.
Not bitter at all. Great taste going down. That's fantastic, man. And now the weekend is rolling.
Yeah, let's do it.
The weekend is underway. We have got one more hour to go. Come on back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me. The bars and this guitar and long neck ice cold beer never broke my heart.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presents. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 1,000 vehicles. Chevy, Ford, GMC, Buick, Nissan, Acura, Mazda, Honda, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com. For over 1,000 vehicles, visit any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
The best values of the year are this weekend at Diamonds Direct. Save an extra 20% store-wide. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, designer jewelry. It's our biggest and final store-wide sale of 2023, and we're holding nothing back. Shop early for Christmas and get the year's best value prices. Thousands of engagement rings on sale too. Plus special financing. This is the big one with in-store designer appearances all weekend, including Sunday. Get all the details now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
So I have been in the operating room most of my career, watching people have orthopedic surgery, watching people get knees replaced, hips replaced, shoulders fixed, and I knew there had to be a better way.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a medical director for QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain relief.
I see so many people who could have been helped before they got to the operating room if only they had known about regenerative medicine.
QC Kinetics, a natural alternative that uses your body's own healing properties to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue, providing long-lasting relief without drugs, surgery, or downtime.
Well, it feels great when I do get to see somebody who we help, who I know I kept out of the operating room. It's amazing how we change people's lives without surgery.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio, brought to you by Everwise Credit Union. Discover the financial solutions to control your money and your business at everwisecu.com. I'm Kate Sharon. The economic outlook in Northwest Indiana is strong, according to a report from Indiana University Northwest. Micah Polick, Associate Professor of Economics at IU Northwest, said one of the major factors of the growth is that the economy is doing well for workers.
In the last few years, though, that's turned around. Not only is population growing, it's growing because we have positive net migration. So people are either moving into Northwest Indiana or staying here at much higher rates than they used to, and we have a lot fewer leaving.
Adjusting for inflation, wages for all workers in Northwest Indiana have grown 5.8% since 2019, the report said. In a unanimous vote this week, the Bloomington City Council recognized the Capital Improvement Board and the Convention and Visitors Commission as the two groups with decision-making power over the Monroe Convention Center expansion project and its operations. They will have the power to make decisions about location, design, and construction, as well as amenities like a hotel or parking garage. The Monroe County Council and the Monroe County Commissioners will need to ratify the agreement in their upcoming meetings. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Talent Resource Navigator is a free online tool that offers the convenience of one-stop shopping for education and job training opportunities. It's supported by on-demand customer service and technical assistance. The Navigator intentionally guides and connects individuals and employers with a tailored set of talent development resources based on each user's identified needs. Get started today at talentresourcenavigator.com.
Eli Lilly and Company announced Friday morning that it plans to build a $2.5 billion factory in Germany to make injectable drugs, its latest move to meet the soaring demand for medicines for diabetes and weight loss. The Indianapolis-based drug maker said the factory in Alzey, Rhineland-Palatinate, about 400 miles southwest of the German capital Berlin, will employ up to 1,000 highly skilled workers such as engineers, operators, and scientists, and will include automation and high-speed manufacturing lines. 23-year-old Carmel, Indiana filmmaker Ashton Gleckman is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, what kind of weather to expect this Thanksgiving? IMPD's at the scene of a police-involved shooting this evening, and Sasha Nixon reports on a brand new winter event at the Children's Museum. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 6 o'clock.
Gearing up for a busy travel season. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Thanksgiving less than a week away, and federal transportation officials are warning there could be long lines at airports.
TSA says that the 3 busiest days at our nation's airport will be Tuesday and Wednesday and the Sunday after Thanksgiving. They want all travelers to get to their airports at least 2 hours prior to their flight to get through those security lines and such. Now, Denver International Airport is the 3rd busiest in the country. Recently, a majority of the Colorado